White Walker-perpetuated offenses are considered especially heinous. In Westeros, 4 dedicated friends investigate and discuss these vicious episodes as members of an elite squad known as A Podcast Has No Name.
I'm Afro.
I'm Ambush.
I'm here.
Oh my God. Apparently Eeyore is in the building. Who knew?
Yeah.
How's that cloud going for you, Eeyore? Keeping you company there? I'm Morg, and we are A Podcast Has No Name.
Thank you.
My
Good
name
job.
is Curly
That's it. I like
Castro,
that.
and I'm going to
Okay.
comment
Okay.
in the middle
Okay.
of this goddamn podcast.
I liked it until then. What just
And I'm
happened?
going to keep the sound up. And when I smash my common head on the common ground, I want it right on this damn podcast.
Why?
Okay.
Why do you want to
If
smash?
you're going
why
to
do you
have
wanna
this
go
little
common?
enthusiasm, could you at least speak a little louder?
And could you also not speak suicide into the actual universe?
Common.
Oh,
Right.
happy Tuesday, folks.
It is Tuesday.
Castro's in a bit of a mood. He's not ready to go up on a Tuesday, but we'll get there.
Yes.
We'd like to welcome back Afro, who's been gone for a couple of weeks. Welcome back, Afro.
Hey, guys. I missed you.
Yes, I was waiting for the birthday home. Thank you.
I'm pouring the vodka, and not in a celebratory manner.
Oh, Jesus Christ. To wash down all your pills with? God bless you.
He's drowning in sorrows, Westeros sorrows. What's happening?
Oh, goodness.
I wish
So,
my cats could
we
play
are
the
in
Ranger
our-
Castamere with their little whisker.
No, we're not doing that.
All right, we'll rein it in. I do
We'll
have
rein
to
it in
start by saying that I did not do my homework. I don't listen to y'all podcasts, so I don't know what y'all talked about last week.
Whoa! Okay.
Revolution.
Wait a Okay. Can I have a moment? Please.
Go right ahead.
Oh, please
madam.
take it. Please take it.
Madam, my key takeaway from that statement was y'all podcast as if you're a guest.
Yeah. I knew it was
As
coming.
if you're a guest. As if
only
you are
thing she
not
was
a
missing was
fellow
Lil.
captain.
Wait, did I not hear her say?
I don't even listen to
Y'all
y'all little
Lil?
podcast.
No, Lil.
Oh, I meant to say Lil. Oh, damn it. I meant to say Lil. I don't listen to y'all little podcast or whatever. I meant to say Lil and whatever. Y'all little podcasting or whatever.
Thank
So,
goodness
I don't
you
know what
didn't
y'all
from the jump. Oh, my God.
I'm crying.
No,
Yeah,
for real
Lil.
talk. I didn't listen last week, so if y'all make any throwbacks and callbacks to that, I won't, But I am here, and I did watch the second episode of the first season, and so I'm ready to go.
Of Game of Thrones.
The only thing, just a little early, more. The only thing we pulled from the last episode.
Right on time.
The only thing we pulled from the last episode is we declared that the initial deserter is the enlightened one and the smartest character that we encountered in the whole series. We call him the enlightened one.
Yes,
Yeah, I saw that was
he-
the title.
Yeah, he was right all along. And the fact that they had him, I think it was very misrepresentation. He was shaking and bumbling and shivering when they caught him. They should have walked him right down to the Iron Throne, sat him down, cleaned him up. You're like, you're right. But no, they chopped his head off and kept saying,
They did. They made the kid watch.
Right.
They definitely made Bran watch.
They made
And it was like every time they described what this guy saw, it kept getting more and more like the Jabberwocky poem. Oh, there's bandit snatchers and crumble fishes. Ooh, scary, they're coming. And it was like, they just like, what about what he said? Everybody saying, like, what about what he said? They're like, oh, the snarking, and the Bumble doors. They're coming.
Everybody's so scared of those Bumble doors.
But I will say this, just like the great memory of Dickon, we will not forget the Enlightened One. We haven't mentioned him
Absolutely
in 6,
not.
7 years,
Dickon,
and we will always honor him.
Dickon. Yes.
We're talking about the Enlightened One, not Dickon.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Whoopsie-doodle.
Focus.
Let's rein that back in. Dickon later.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I know I just made some male listener somewhere very fucking happy. I'm so sorry.
Yes, you did.
I'm glad.
Yes, you did.
Like, I'm glad
Yes,
my
you
name is
did.
Dickon.
And he's like,
Yeah.
welcome back, Afro. Welcome
Yeah,
back.
ratings are up.
We got to get our numbers up. So throw that in a couple more times throughout the episode.
Okay. I got you.
Okay, let's get it popping.
Are we ready?
Name of the
This is
episode?
the way to bring it back?
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
There it is.
There it is.
Playing the game. Podcast has no name. Don't be playing the game. Game of Thrones.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. It gets better every time.
Every
It
time.
does.
Right.
Every
Y'all notice
time.
I'm really trying to get them notes. All right? Yeah.
You're up there.
Yeah.
You're up there.
Yeah, we're not rapping anymore. We're just straight up singing. I
No.
love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. You trying
Move
to
straight
get
to the
the
just like-
I'm peeping.
Just like when the Cosby Show intro got to like season 4 and they really went for it. They were all dancing with the colors and stuff.
Oh, Bobby McFerrin and shit.
They really went for it.
They're wearing all those bright colors, and it looked like the Power Rangers Nick Saban logo at the end. It was very nice. All right.
Right.
Okay. The name of the episode.
Yeah, what is the name of the episode?
The King's Road.
King's Road.
Oh, yeah, because they get on the road. Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
And it's the King. And it's the King. There we go.
And they're on King's Road.
So it opens with Khaleesi and Jorah. Well, no, it opens with Jorah talking to Dany. And they're on the road. You see, everybody's on the road, honestly, but you see the horses and the field, and Jorah reaches out to Dany, and this is like, for me at least, the moment where it's like, oh yeah, this is the beginning of his fucking love and adoration of her. And he's like, yo, you need to eat, you need some water, here's some horse jerky, take it, girl. And she's like,
this for you, boo.
Is this all you got? You don't have any, like, steak or anything else? I was really hoping for some lobster right now, you know. And he's like, nah, the Dothraki, you know, they got horses and they got weapons or some other shit, he said. And, he kind of, like, flew her for a second on the Dothraki. And I think that was, like, kind of, like, it. Like, did he drop any other bombs that y'all like, saw that moment?
Nah, I took away from that.
Nah.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Morris.
I was just going to say, I took away from that because he said the Dothraki have in abundance horses and grass, and people can't live off. Yeah, and he was like, and people can't live off grass. So that to me was the entire. My key takeaway from Jorah was, fuck your plant-based diet. Y'all can't live off that.
Pretty much. Yeah. You about to gain some pounds.
Sorry, Rhythm.
You about to gain some
Sorry,
pounds.
Rhythm. But Jorah don't even fuck with that. Jorah says you can't live like that.
Oh, wait.
I'll let this horse jerky.
Not only did Jorah pass off the anti-vegan message, he did mention a myth of what the Dothraki thought would eventually happen to the grass, and some about that white grass.
Oh, it would cover the earth. Like,
yes, and that will be the
Ghost grass.
Now, like, to pull that all away, is that symbolically meaning like when the winter comes across grass, that's what would turn grass white? That was the only thing that made sense to me. I wasn't thinking that like the grass was dying. I took it as this is their version of the long winter.
I thought the grass he was like it was like a weed or something that they just couldn't get rid of. Did I totally misunderstand that?
I thought it was like all other grass.
Right. So, but I was just saying, like, what's the quickest way in Westeros that we've seen for it to symbolize white grass? And I was thinking that was their version of the long night.
I see. I see.
So, the different areas had their different explanations for the long night that everybody experienced.
I like it. I definitely did not think about that, but I do. Okay.
Yeah, I know you don't, but
okay,
it's out there, buddy. Who's next?
And I just have one more thing to add to that is that he tells her like she looks at Drogo and he looks at her and it's a little strained, you know, and he tells her like it'll get easier and she rolls her eyes so hard. Like
super hard.
Man, you don't get the fuck out of here. Ain't nobody asked you for that.
Right. Yeah. Like he's raising me every night. Like you don't get it.
Yeah, right. You don't get it. Like you have absolutely no idea what's happening to me.
Was he meaning the fourth rear penetration would get better as it goes along? You'll get numb, or did he mean the whole ordeal of just being married?
I think the whole ordeal. Yeah, I think the whole ordeal and learning their ways, and definitely not just the mounting portion, but.
Because I was like, you ain't bonding with her. It's not a good bonding tactic right now. Talking about
no, definitely not.
Horse mounted, literally. Oh, it'll get easier. I bet.
Unless he was really trying to go with the whole, friend zoning, and then try to pivot to I can treat you better. We don't really know where he was exactly.
I don't think he was all in lust with her, and at that point, I think he was still admiring her. But
although
he
I
wasn't
feel
a
like at
disrespectful
some
cat.
point,
like he wasn't going to overstep the fact that she, I'm just saying, like at this early stage, she's married to the Carl.
Yeah, you're right.
I think he was disrespectful.
Okay, I'd just like to offer. I feel like at some point within these 7 seasons, he said to her, like, "I've loved you since the second I saw you," or the moment something like that.
Think he had that quote? Okay.
Now,
okay.
I think that was game.
I mean, he was very caring. He reached into his bag. I was like, he's about to poison you, but I know he's not. But he pulled out the horse jerky. And I was like, okay, word. That's what's up. But he was very caring.
I don't think that yeah.
Well,
I don't think
like,
that
listen,
he will.
I'm just saying, like, the fact that he's a spy, that never worked except when they read it out loud. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's a spy and all that. I didn't think, like, I didn't think he was being duplicitous. I didn't see that as a viewer. Oh, watch out, Danny.
Did this nigga just say duplicitous?
He did. He definitely did. And he pulled it off beautifully.
Go on.
And nigga with an AH. My point is.
That matters.
It does. The point is, I was saying the way he was playing the character, he wasn't coming across as, say, like Littlefinger. You're seeing that he's seedy because he is a spy.
I absolutely agree.
Y'all get what I'm saying?
I still feel that way.
Okay.
But rewatching, I still feel that way. I still feel like maybe he's not in love with her today, but I don't think that he's would ever overstep knowing what that situation is. But I think that he was in a fucked up position from the jump, going to spy on her, probably liked her from the beginning and was like, shit, well, I'm already here. There was no way he could get out of that immediately and be like, I came here to spy on you, but I'm not going to do that now. But I want to say that I think there's also an admiration that builds up naturally when he watches her go through this journey to become the wife of this, eating the heart, the stuff that's coming. So that admiration could have led to, the full-blown love. I'm just saying, like, I think he admires her right now. I don't think he's head over heels just yet, and he's not thinking that way because he doesn't want to disrespect. And then, we'll get there. You know what I'm saying? That's all I mean. Yeah.
Okay. He probably thought he was coming to be a spy on a mud duck and was like, she's super cute.
Yep.
And so that's the moment he had in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, she's super cute, she's innocent, she's sweet. Yeah.
Right. All of that. And then it just continuously builds the way that love does, all of a sudden you admire all of the things in her evolution and her growth, and you see all of the losses and everything. Like it to me, it would make sense if he did love, was like, oh, I loved her from the beginning. I think he probably did.
Yeah.
That's not head over heels in love. That's not going to steal you away from the call love. That's just, he got into something that he wasn't prepared for.
But also, you got to
then he starts talking to her brother. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Castro.
No, I was just going to say, so they're in a foreign place, even though they grew up there most of their lives. So the fact that he looks like a Westerosi, you know what I'm saying? He's going to immediately bring familiarity, especially when she was riding with the Khalasar. So I think that was, just a tactic to get in. You can get in close. She's going to, he knows the ways of them. He knows their language. I'm just thinking he's going to be an immediate conduit for it. So those things.
Yeah.
Because if we're going with he is sent as a spy, there has to be a reason why Varys and them picked him. Is all I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
So he goes. Jorah starts talking to Viserys and tells him, we're not that far from Pentos, and forgive me, I don't remember who the guy over there is, but was like, he's extended, his hospitality to you. And Viserys is so fucking dumb. He's like, I'm not going anywhere until this dude produces my crown. I'm staying here. Viserys doesn't know how to sleep outside. He's having an awful time. He absolutely is having an awful time. Go to fucking Pentos, bro. You're not going to fight anything. You're not going to do anything. You sure as shit don't want to eat the horse jerky. And you don't give a fuck what happens to Dany. Just go to Pentos. No one needs you here.
Did he think there was going to be some symbolic gesture of, here's my army, and then I'm going along the lines of, was they going to, was Viserys, he's so swept up in myth and tradition. Did he think there would be this big thing of, take army? And that's what I'm saying.
I think he thought they were going to. He thought they were going to ride across ride across over and get to wherever and just take the fucking castle. He has absolutely no idea what anybody else has going on somehow. He's
he
just
was young when they left
I'm waiting for it.
So he was young when they left too.
I know, but he's also you can't be this fucking dumb running to go get the crown. Whether you're supposed to get it or not. You can't be that dumb. Obviously, we learned that with Dany, right? So he's just stupid, and I forgot how much he annoyed me. So the rewatch was great for those moments of being like, damn, I hated this dude.
And we're going to get to somebody else that the same effect on me.
Exactly.
But it's like he buys what he's selling. He buys what he's selling. The way he's
100%.
it to Dany. The people in the street will welcome him with open arms. They hate the usurper and all that stuff. But he believes it, too. It wasn't just fluffy telling Dany to go along with his plan. He actually believes when he touches down, puts the dragon stone,
Yeah, because at that point,
he moves around.
He's going to be the king. So, he definitely believes that. He doesn't have to sell Dany on anything.
Yeah,
well,
he moves around. He moves through these scenes. He moves through these scenes like he has his own separate live studio audience that he's performing.
Right.
He's just, there's always an extra flip of the hair, and he's always looking off in the distance and looking back. It's dude, no one's fam.
When he says,
you know nothing.
When they write of my reign, they'll start the moment here. The pen quill will start here. When he was fondling her breast and shit. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
but
so gross.
Just somebody that's swallowing what they're shoveling in one felt moment.
Right. Yeah.
It's
terrible. So next we got scene change. We're at Winterfell, and Tyrion is waking up in the dog kennel. And Joffrey, what did he say?
Wait, and before you dive at it first, can we just throw around real quick? How do we think Tyrion ended up in this dog kennel?
He's drunk as fuck. He's been drinking.
Pretty much.
There's got to be a number of combinations. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's. I mean, he had M's in his bank account when he went to sleep. But now he's he's lovingly laying next to the dog, he snuggled up next to it. It's not like he just passed out.
Nah, he's living his best life right then. He got the best sleep.
Yeah.
He got the best sleep. Everything worked out great. He literally was like, I'm ready for breakfast. You know, like
He's probably out there telling stories in his drunk self.
Yes.
And just fell into the kennel and niggas just walked off on him. Like,
and
okay.
they walked
Lord
off
Tyrion,
and he went to sleep.
Fine.
Yeah.
Straight up. Yeah.
That's how that happened, Castro.
So
you're welcome.
Joffrey says, what do you say? This is better than the bitches you normally end up with, or something like that. And I'm like, and part of me forgot how cool Joffrey thought he was.
Yeah.
Part of me forgot. I was like, oh, I keep forgetting. You think you're ahead of every club? Okay.
Of everything.
Right, I got you. Okay. Yeah. No. That was cute, but no, Joffrey. And then Tyrion starts to talk to him about, going to pay respect to the Stark parents. And he's like, what? It's no concern of mine. I hate the wailing of women. And he's looking over at the Hound laughing like, I hate the wailing of women. Am I right?
Women.
Am I right?
Those pesky women wailing.
I feel like he didn't even get that sentence all the way out. Like, he didn't even finish all of that sentence, and it was like...
No. He turned right back around into a vicious one. The one of three. The first of three. Correct.
The first of three backhands.
The wrong
first of three. And don't forget the...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I'm
absolutely
telling Mother,
the best part of the entire thing.
I was going to say I'm telling Mother, but he didn't get out the whole thing. I'm telling Mom. And he ran off.
He was like, yeah, you know what? Good. I have no problem with you telling her. Just on your way to tell her, make sure you go see the Starks and do what I told you.
Find the Starks first.
And well, he tries to get one last word out and kapow, and that's it. I can't do this anymore. I don't have any smart quips. My uncle is drawing shit for his height. Yeah, I'm not doing this.
But that is another moment we're immediately reminded of how despicable, and there's a couple more moments to come, of Joffrey.
Mm-hmm.
Like, immediately on scene, on site, we saw this swarmy little blonde kid who wasn't his father's kid. And,
right.
Because I always remember him kind of, I know you're supposed to as a knight or knight in training, but, like, the way he would rest his arm and his sword that he never was going to use.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's just like, poser. You know what I'm saying? And that's what led him to get into all the trouble he did anyway.
Complete poser.
Coming up. So
then the Hound gives Tyrion a little bit of advice, Little Lord, you might want to chill with that. He's always going to remember that as he gets older. And normal Tyrion, I hope the motherfucker does. Yes. And if he forgets, you remind him. Man, now I'm going to step off and I'm going to go find breakfast. He was like, man. even without your mustache, you're still pretty cool back then. You're making a
and the blonde hair. I can't get off the blonde hair.
The blonde hair is pretty bad.
He's so dirty blonde. It's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely bad. Right. So then he steps off and goes to breakfast.
All right. So Tyrion goes to breakfast with the other Lannisters, and it seems like they have a whole little breakfast nook set up, right? All the kids are there.
Yeah, like their own little dining room.
The twins are there. Is it me? And help me out, ladies. Or is Cersei doing that black woman looks sideways at you as possible because she can't understand what you're doing? Like, I was waiting for you at the door. Isn't that what she's doing to him? Isn't she like leaning all the way over? I was
the whole time.
Like, I was dying. Like, why is she looking at him like this?
Why did she get to do that?
Right.
This disdain for you. And how? How am I act crazy? How, Tyrion? How? So, so she gives him, gives him the once over, and what I immediately saw was how close he was to his niece and nephew. which is a theme throughout
the series. That was beautiful.
Very genuine, and I thought, that comes full circle in season 7 when they meet again. About, he loves them, these children. They bring him joy. They laugh as soon as they see their Uncle Tyrion. Uncle Jamie is very confusing to them because it's also Daddy Jamie, so they kind of like
Uncle Daddy.
They kind of like
Uncle Daddy Jamie.
Uncle Daddy.
Their relationship is more the hokey pokey. You put your left foot in, you take your left foot out. You put your left foot in.
Right.
So, but with Tyrion, it's like genuine.
Your uncle is your dad.
There's no hesitation. We also get to see that Tyrion is very different with the oldest sibling, Joffrey, and the 2 younger ones. He treats them a little different.
Definitely.
And pretty much because of their personality, we clearly see that. Okay, so now we get the awkward looks across the table, which I'm like, doesn't everybody see them looking at each other? Bran's going to wake up, and Cersei's dark eyebrows raise up, and she looks at Jaime.
No, Cersei looked confused. Like, the fuck you mean he going to wake up? Like, what?
Yes.
Wake up. She looks confused. She doesn't look as mad as she does confused. Like, how's that? I don't understand.
She looked at him like he was the one waking Bran up. Like, what are you doing? Like it's his fault. I'm just a messenger. I'm just telling you what I heard.
He's relaying the message as a genuine human being would. Oh, the boy's going to live. Like, that's good news. And they're looking around.
Right.
And it's funny because Tyrion is just taking bites of food while he's saying this normally. Meanwhile, Jaime and Cersei are having this whole psychic conversation. Oh, shit.
They're having full-blown panic attacks. Yes.
Right.
And then also Cersei eventually absconds with the children, saying that Tyrion's mouth is a little too filthy for their morning breakfast.
So here's
they're
my
about
question.
to leave also,
is that
right?
Is that the same timing? Is that Lil Thomas?
No, they changed the actor. The actor changed twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you'll come to find out.
I was like, I don't think so.
The final timing we have is actually one of the cousin Lannisters that the Karstarks killed. He played. You gonna see it because it's kind of dark.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, those 2 cousin Lannisters, the little ones that they had locked up, and they had one scene when they came in.
Yep, I remember that.
When the big Karstark came in, like, he was mad, and he killed them little boys. One of them was the Tommen that they eventually used later.
Okay,
but yeah,
gotcha.
It was good call. They changed Marcella, maybe. I'm not sure. I think that's a different actress.
She seemed like the same Marcella. I didn't look at her that hard, though. Because for me, it was like, oh, we have seen Marcella before she got shipped off.
Right.
Because I was just like, I never seen that girl before until she was in Dorne.
I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And well, yeah, just to finish off, Jaime asked whose side Tyrion is on, and it's funny because like, aren't you telling on yourself, boy?
Yeah,
like, why are you saying that? Like, what the? But I do think though, underlying of that is true. Like, you seem like you're rooting for these Starks. You can tell that we're all physically uncomfortable even being here. All of us Lannisters, my sister, you know what I'm saying? Except you seem so willing. Oh, also, they talk about Tyrion's journey to go to the wall, and Cersei just doesn't understand why you would want to go even further north, because I'm already sick to my stomach being this far north. But you're going to go even further. I don't understand your motivation. It just seems like a sick fascination of your perverted mind.
Everywhere.
Right.
Right.
Right. So it was good to see their dynamic, and their triple dynamic. But I didn't mean to cut that. It was good to see them three.
Yeah.
But like you said before, like he got upset with Tyrion. Like how exactly was Tyrion supposed to respond to the news of Bran being alive in front of everybody? Like, it was like, what do you expect him to do? How did you expect him to deliver that news, if at all? It's like,
well, it helped paint that whole
what do you mean?
Lannister versus Stark thing. It painted the Lannister for Stark thing immediately. We started pitting them. You're watching the show with all these multiple families, and you're like, oh, well, these guys don't like each other. It was almost immediate. But there wasn't really wasn't any reason for it except how they were acting. So we just dived right in.
Yeah.
But I don't think they had any historical conflict. They've always been kind of unreluctant partners. During Robert's rebellion, Tywin sacked King's Landing. Robert didn't ask him to do that, and Robert probably assumed that they were going to have to fight Tywin and his folks at some point because Tywin was kind of playing coy being in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was just a plot device in terms of like making the Lannisters versus Stark. I'm pretty sure in the books it was like written a little bit more in depth, maybe some historical reference or something about why they don't like each other, other than just we're brown-haired people and yellow blonde. That's
and
right.
It also helped feed the theory that the Lannisters are behind all of this stuff, as opposed to Littlefinger already having having his plan in motion. Yeah,
great point. And then that's about it. They're all planning. They're about to head back, and Tyrion's going further. And now we're starting to see, we don't know it yet, but the big splintering. Because this is where all, everybody kind of goes off. Like, we'll find out later.
Yeah.
Everybody splits off from this episode almost. I was watching, I said, oh, shit. This is when everybody starts. And because we're under the impression that some of these people that go, they're going to come right back. Maybe they'll be at King's Land for a month or two and turn around. We didn't know that this is the last time some of them are going to see each other. This is literally the last time the daughters saw Rob, for instance. Like, they never saw Rob again, or their mother. So things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that stuff rings true. Yep.
So
hey, that's good, girl.
Game of Thrones. Awkward transition. Game of Thrones.
So Catelyn is in Bran's room, and Cersei has just left breakfast and comes into Bran's chambers and tells the story of her first son's death, who she mentioned had black hair, so that had to be Robert's only baby, right? With her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I forgot totally about. I totally forgot about
that.
Oh, yeah,
her.
completely. This whole time I was thinking, damn, he never got her pregnant because she was too busy fucking Jamie. But apparently that happened once, so, and the baby...
She did say he would... Right. He did say he would drunkenly jump on her, or he would be out whoring and come back passed out drunk so she could just play like, I had sex with you, I had...
definitely.
I had Joffrey while you were asleep. Drunk.
While you were
I was asleep.
Right. I mean, even had him. Gave birth to this baby. Yeah, this is yours. Wake up.
Jamie had it.
Like.
So she tells this story of her first son's death, and as I'm watching it, just knowing how much I hate Cersei and how fucking conniving she is, I couldn't tell exactly where she was going with this. It seemed spiteful to me. It seemed like, I'm going to tell you this really terrible story to prepare you for the fact that your son's going to die. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't seem to be uplifting or caring or loving in any way. And no, I don't expect any of those things from Cersei. But even in the second episode is my takeaway that this bitch is crazy. Because that was not in any way like, here, let me come share this story with you so that I'm sharing. And Kat was even like, oh, I had no idea. And she's all emotional about it. And Cersei's like, so anyway, let me finish. Yeah, that kid was a fighter and the fever took him and blah, blah, blah. I pray to the mother that she returns your son. Like, she didn't
even though I'm about to kill your son.
Yeah, even though
it was a quick pivot. It was a quick pivot where we learned how Cersei turns everything to about her. So that's why it seems so cold more, because as soon as she starts with this compassionate story to connect, she's immediately like solo light, stage goes dark, Cersei soliloquy. Like, that's what I feel like sometimes. She's there by herself, talking to herself about her own things. So, I'm being really insensitive. Your son is still alive, and I should be wishing his life. But no, I'm going to tell you about the horrible time that my dark-haired baby died and they took him from me. It seemed like she was just turning the whole scene.
Well, I think in her way, she thought that she was strategically empathizing. And,
I think you're right about that.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
I think you're absolutely right about that. I think it just continuously shows that she cannot be empathetic. It's not in her. Even when it's strategy, she can't fully complete the task. Like, it's just not something, it's completely foreign. She can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it came off as super cold to me, and even though Kat was eating that shit up like pudding, I just wanted her to get the fuck out of Bran's room. Like, get the evil away. Take the evil back out of the room.
Wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. I'm raising my hand in the conference room.
Yes,
if she wants the evil away, she can stop weaving them damn Blair Witch sticks, putting next to his bed. Let me tell y'all something about the Blair
that
Witch.
was not evil. That was not evil.
All right, let me tell you about the Blair Witch stick.
That was healing.
Okay? Yeah, or was it? Let me tell you about the deep dark hole I went into when the Blair Witch reared her ugly head. I don't mess with no woods. You wouldn't find me no Westerosi or the Godswood or wherever. I don't play around with no woods. I need electricity. I need sounds. I need cars and smog. And I'm not sitting there.
Electricity? Are you serious? There's no electricity there at all. Okay,
but I'm
so
not
you cannot
leaving
do
no
that.
Blair Witch sticks, ass. I ain't sitting there making Blair Witch sticks to hang around trees. Damn it.
Castro, I'm just going to say this right now.
Castro has watched
I feel like you don't know nothing about nature and the moon and the stick and the fucking string and how they all weave together to heal people.
Yeah, if it heals people. You know what I know about that? I know about
especially your own child.
I know about Duppy.
Especially your own child.
knows about Duppy. You're not fucking with no Duppy. All right, you're weaving little sticks, calling on Duppy to lay next to the boy. Nah, man.
Carcosa. That's all I offer. I'm just here to offer.
See,
that's some Yellow King.
No.
Yes, more Yellow King Blair Witch.
Yellow King. Yes.
Blair Witch. They were fucking taking selfies, okay? That's what they were doing.
This is real. No,
that is a selfie project.
The Blair Witch out there, the Wendigos out there, the Tasmanian Devil, all that's out there. I don't mess with out there. We don't belong out there.
The Tasmanian Devil?
I don't mess with out there. I just want to name of the episode. I don't mess with out there.
Don't mess with out there. But now, and the subtitle is, and now fuck with Duppy. All right, put that in the subtitle.
Oh, are we going Rastafari right now? Are we doing that? Is that what we're doing?
That's what I mean when I don't mess with Duppy. You know, y'all want the subtitles? Man, I fuck with no Duppy. I don't mess with ghosts and Blair Witches and sticks that you weave next to your kid when you can't breathe.
Don't do that. Don't do all that. Don't do that.
The Maester said.
Don't perform fellatio either, because that's how they roll. All right? So we're not doing that.
Excuse me. I'm not Rastafarian. All right, I'm West Indian.
Oh, okay. You do it when it's convenient. When it's convenient, okay?
Picking and choosing.
Okay. You like Am out here. You don't want your horror with a side of racist.
What? Yo, Am, I'm a this. Yeah, you're right here with me, brother. You're right here next to me, brother.
No, Afro's been gunning for me. She's been gunning for me for the last 7 years.
I have. I couldn't believe you were saying those words. And I was like, all right, I'm going to chill. And then Morgs was like, oh, okay. Thank you, Morgs. Thank you for taking it there. Because Am was not trying to have it. He was like, oh, you know, I don't need my horror stories with no race shit in it. You know, the movie It. Stephen King's It does not involve race, and I don't need that. I don't need my sci-fi and horror and race together.
I want my fantasy the way I want my fantasy.
He had a good point, though. There was a point to how they changed all of that, and it's the 50s to the 80s, y'all.
Man.
That's what I think. It's the 50s to the 80s. They changed the black kids'
it's time
story.
period. Because in the 80s, there was no racism. Just like in 2017, there's no racism. It's just motherfucking niggas that grabbed a bunch of tiki torches from Home Depot.
Oh, my God. Make America great again. All right, look.
I tried it.
Great again.
All I'm saying is,
the podcast has no name because we will go everywhere with it. We go all over the world. All right? Every topic.
Let them know, Ab. Let them know.
Bring it back in. Bringing it back in.
All right. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just need to do that. I'm sorry, Am. You ain't shit, Am, but I'm sorry.
Oh, the repression.
I'm just kidding. I love you, Am.
Wait, so
they all
that's the
float
title
down
of the
there,
episode?
Am.
I'm confused.
They all float down there.
They all float down there.
They all float.
They all float.
They all float.
All right, so we're getting back. We're John is blackness and Castro's taking it away.
Okay. All right. All right, but help me out here, y'all, because I think either I missed this or was it so superly implied? When did John make this grand decision to take the black? Was that something he just was talking with Benjen about, and he was planning to do it for a year or two? Because it just seemed like, he's going up to the wall, and everybody knows. Jamie knows. Father knows. Whoever, you know.
I think what happened was he recognized his circumstances. Their mom
hates him.
Right, with the mom.
Is like, get the entire fuck out of everywhere. I can tell that you're in our castle. Leave. Like, she's
I don't like
she's
I
so
can see
awful
breathing.
to him. Yeah, exactly.
That dynamic is terrible.
I can see you
terrible.
breathing. Yeah. Get out of my vicinity. So there's that. Plus Benjen, he does have a connection with. So immediately it's like, you're going there? Maybe I'll go there. Like, I think it was just
I'll go where I'm wanted. Shit.
And Ned's leaving. I gotta go. Like, this isn't gonna work. I can't be here with Dad going.
Yeah.
Because Dad's the only thing that makes it so I can still breathe
the only
here.
Buffer. Yep.
Dad, who I call Lord Stark, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
There we go.
Yes.
But how well do we see Ned really creating a space for John to be comfortable?
He has to respect his wife first and foremost.
No, I get that. I get that. But I do. I understand that. Okay, so according to his story, I have tarnished my image and I went outside my marriage and I can't. He's still your son. I don't think it's cool that he allows Kat to be so reckless and just like disrespectful towards him. But
it's all in service
of to be there.
It's in service of Lyanna though. It's in service of Lyanna more so than making John comfortable. It's to keep up this ruse so nobody knows he's a Targaryen. You know, I think it's just all in service of that.
But I also venture to say that I don't. I don't disagree with you, Am, but I think that there's a scene that we're going to get to. Maybe I'll just wait until then. I think that he's not always there when she's her worst, or she doesn't know he's there. She doesn't know he's there when she's her worst. So
got you.
Ned might see some tension, but not necessarily realize how awful it is, because he's also dealing with the weight of, I'm dealing with my wife and she's mad at me for some shit I never fucking did. I have to lie for the rest of my life or whatever. I can't let anybody know this crazy secret. So he's wrapped up in that portion, and he may not be seeing just how big the tension is between them. And add to that I think that she's being a total catch you next Tuesday to John every time in front of Ned. I think she's getting
didn't she give him a look from even the archery scene? Like, I feel like she always gives him these folding looks. Like, she's giving it there.
Yeah,
so I agree with you, boy. It's probably not as full blown, but she definitely, it's subconscious now. Like, she probably does it all the time to the kids.
Oh,
so
she
Ned
does it all the time. But think about that. They're standing.
Realizing is what I'm saying.
Well, think about it. If they're but if they're standing next to each other and she's shooting looks, but he's looking down, he's not even catching that she's giving John all that shade. Like, he's not catching every single moment.
You're hitting it on the head. John is what, 16, 17 at this point?
Right.
So they've had conversations over the years. Stop treating a boy like that, which is why she's sneakily throwing him glances. So no, you're right.
Good point.
They've had this conversation. She's never disrespecting him directly in front of Ned. It's always on the spot.
But how much could they have had the conversation, and how much? Because again, he's
enough for her to put it in check.
But I don't think he can even check her because he brought home this bastard child. You get what I'm saying? Like, sometimes there's the unsaid checking. So it might happen with a glance or something, but he doesn't dare speak up of it because he's wrong. As long as the boy's living, every year you're wrong. So you're going to have to live with me throwing him the shade and stuff like if you want me to.
You don't have to.
Got no birthdays or nothing. He probably don't got no birthdays.
What are you about to say?
Could you imagine? It's John's birthday. We're not doing that. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. It was a sneaky gift brought to him late in the evening. like, here, this is for you. Don't let Kat see. He never called her mom.
I'm kind of like Morgs. Like, I don't want to skip ahead, but there's that moment where Ned walks into the room while Kat's like, get out. Fuck you, go away.
And that voice, but the voice, I mean, she's mourning the son that's not dead, but she's like, I want you out of here. Like, she's talked to him like that
right,
before.
but you see the moment when Ned walks into the room and she looks like she's caught.
Yep.
She's like,
yes.
My bad.
Yep.
So I feel like there were conversations of, like, you can't treat him like this, blah, 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 but there's still empathy around it because, in your eyes, I did this thing that I know I didn't actually do, but,
But, ladies, help me out. In modern day, when these things occur, isn't there some empathy at some point where, all right, you're my bastard kid, but come on. Like, doesn't mothers take in other kids, whether they're there? I just felt like after 17 years, wouldn't she have just...
I think by 16, yes, you do. You do.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Considering they had him since he was a baby.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Go ahead, Morgan.
I think that normal women do. I think that normal women will absolutely realize what the most important thing is. And if the baby is going to be here, then the baby's going to be here. And at some point, you have to realize the baby didn't do shit to you. So I think that normal people would have gotten over that before the baby can talk. I think in this we learned that Kat is not normal in many ways, right? Mm-hmm. And that her ability, I mean, think about how hard a life it would be to carry that much hate for someone that you see every single day of your life. I mean, that is the hardest thing in the world to do, and she's choosing to be so upset with him. And really what it is you're projecting all the shit that you're mad at Ned about onto him. Because you're still pretending like you're just totally fine with Ned. Like, you're not totally fine with Ned.
Right then. But this is
it's
a trigger, right?
Because
so
there's also
lords, a trigger. Right? Well, go ahead. I'll hold my point. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. They're also lords. So in a regular household, as a woman accepting a child that is not your own, you would bond with that baby on some level. You would change his diaper, you would do this, that, and whatever. They have people that do that shit for them.
Great point.
This is a really, really good point.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Great point.
So never had to connect and chose not to.
And she's being triggered right now, y'all, because Ned is heading back to the Capitol.
Oh, definitely.
Going back to do something for Rob, and the last time he came back with another child. So it's like happening right there in real time. Her other child
she has a child that is questionable right now.
Right.
So,
and I think that's the real trigger. If the child wasn't questionable, I think she might be in a different space.
A little bit more
well
adjusted.
She might be like triggered, but like okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, so back to
good breakdowns.
These are great
fantastic
breakdowns.
Point.
That was really good. So John's at the blacksmith. Unbeknownst to us, he's making needle, but it was a little overacting by the guy smithing. It seemed like he was just doing the same thing over and over again. I noticed that.
He was smithing pretty hard. He was smithing real hard.
The thin sword, and you're over polishing it. You know what I mean? With the extra smithing. And now the note says the 45 handshake, which I missed. I didn't see that exactly.
So what I meant by that is, you know how Trump will grab someone's hand to shake it, and then he like legitimately pulls them
you
into
in.
Okay. Jamie did that. Jamie did that, and I was like, ew. The fucking tower handshake, go away.
Got it. And that is
we get it. We get it. You're the King's Guard or whatever. Like, go away.
Right. So this is also an introduction to Jamie's immense smugness and overconfidence, whether it's warranted or not, because he's just like messing with John Reed for no reason.
He's a total dick. Yeah.
He's like, enjoy the rest of your life up there in the black. Walk away. And
dummy.
Swing my blonde hair. You know what I mean? I'm wearing dirty white. He's wearing dirty white leather. That wasn't cream, y'all. It's dirty white gold leather. It was dirty. okay, to me. I don't care how long you was running on the King's Road, all right? Clean yourself up before you act smug. And but it's also introduced to his smugness that we see, rear up until he loses his hand. Fuck, spoiler alert, everybody knows listening what the deal is. So it's just, more of Jamie being Jamie. We're also dealing with a guy who just puts the kid out the window and kind of walking around with impunity.
With absolutely no problem about pushing a kid out of the window. Legitimately, not one iota. He didn't flinch. And
him and Cersei playing the role. They've done this. They pushed a couple of kids out the window.
Exactly. They've killed hella kids. They've killed hella kids. They've poisoned plenty of John Aarons. They have done so much together.
There's a lot to two of them. We definitely can put
all
that
they
in
have
the bank.
They literally hive-mind it. They don't even think about it. They don't have to say any words. They just kill the person who saw them have sex because twin sex.
Right. Do you know how many times Tyrion probably...
They were in the same room together. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know how many times Tyrion probably broke the story of somebody dying at Castle Rock or at King's Landing, and Cersei and Jamie looking at each other with the psychic like, oh, damn, Tyrion found another one. Like,
damn, that's crazy.
Me the burnt bacon. You know what I'm saying? He's so good at this, goddammit. Him and meddling
How does
kids.
he keep doing it?
Him and our meddling kids. Like him and Tyrion and his niece and nephew keep breaking these stories of all these people they keep killing. And they don't say a word at dinner or breakfast. This has happened.
Not a word.
Okay. Not a word. So it gives them a little foreboding about the wall. Again, it rings true to me that the wall is another one of those word of mouth endeavors. You think it's this and you don't know, and it's very disconnected. That's what I felt because later on in the episode we found out, it's a little undesirable to also head up to the wall. So John is I think it's poked a hole in his little illusion here and there. So I think that encounter with Jamie did that just the same. Like you're not going to greener pastures. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. Like I know the people there think it's so honorable to protect the wall from, again, the wonder snatches and the window kinds and the white Walkers. But I think this is a folly. Because that's how he was like. He was like, yeah, go up there and fight.
Nah, he definitely did.
Ooh,
he definitely did. Ooh, spooky. There are ghosts up there. That's your right.
Ghosts up there. So, and walks
he played the fuck out of him.
Leather. Yeah, and walks over this.
Well, that's the other thing. Nobody really believes in his White Walkers, which is what we're seeing in the first episode as well as the second. Mm-hmm. So nobody, cares about the wall. Like, no one understands what it's actually doing. It's been doing its job for so long that no one's like, oh, my God, thank you for making it honorable, It's kind of like people saying today that they're going to the military, and we're like, oh, okay, cool, bro, that's what's up.
Weird.
Like,
the Coast Guard.
Thank you.
The Coast Guard. When I'm going to join the Coast Guard. Yeah, whatever.
Yep.
That's the weekend.
Right, Coast Guards. Yeah, exactly, because it's not exactly the Coast Guards is a very good analogy. So, people are like, okay, cool, that's what's up, whatever. You think that's so honorable, but I am in this place, especially Jamie, where, he comes from wealth, he comes from royalty, and he's not going to be like, dog, thank you. He's not a politician. Thank you for your service. No. He's like, all right, cool, bro. Cool story. Have a good time. Talk to you soon.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Literally said
meaning I'm not going to talk to you. And also, Jamie brought up to him, have you really used that sword that you have on your hilt? Like, have you really hacked into a man? But that was true. That's a good thing. He's like, no. Have you hacked at a man and seen blood spurt from, your slice? And, I think that was a good little conversation because, foreshadowing. There's a lot of hacking, and he kills a lot of people as we go through. John's a killer. John got some bodies. He's
John had
really
hella bodies.
Hella bodies, right? So,
he got all the bodies.
That was enlightening. Jamie was playing him, but it was enlightening. Like, look, man, I know you carry that sword and y'all practice on y'all dummies in the court of Winterfell, but you're going to really have to cut somebody, and you have to live with it. And I've cut many of people. But, Jamie's like, what, by John's age, Jamie was already in the Kingsguard 1-2 years in. So he's also looking at John like, you're a late starter. You should have been, you know what I'm saying, out there, really out there, because Jamie also went to war, too. So he wasn't just a knight standing there honoring position and tradition. I had to fight. I killed the Mad King. I had to bloody my sword. You should be doing that at this age. So I look at you with disdain because of that.
It's also before we really knew how much of a beast Jamie was. So a lot of it really came off as just like arrogant posturing, and it was like, no, Jamie's actually nice, and he's looking at you like you're choosing to go celibate, you're choosing to go chase goblins or whatever. What is wrong with you? Like, chill out, man. What are you talking about? You're not really about this. Like, I know what this is. Like, chill out. Like, no, don't go chase goblins. Just, fall back, man.
That's dumb.
Fall back. It'd be so much easier.
All right.
So then John goes in to say goodbye to Arya, and Arya's in her room trying to pack and shit because she's about to get on the road too. She got a legit suitcase, and she's doing some kind of like roll ball up thing with her clothes, and he's like, "What's wrong with you?" And he's like, I didn't pack my shit right, and blah blah. She's also got Nymeria coming over, bringing her shit. But, of course, as soon as John walks into the room, and she's like, bring the gloves. Nymeria, gloves. And Nymeria's like,
so anyway.
Yeah. Right.
You're not gonna let everybody know I can work. That's what's not going to
happen. Right. I work for you, but, like, not in front of people.
I work for you,
I'm like not the entertainment.
They're going to be sending me for remote controls and shit. I'm not doing all that.
Remote controls.
Fetch my slippers, Nymeria. Fetch my slippers and paper. Hell out of here.
He's like, yo.
Not going to be able to do. Not going to be able to do.
Nah, baby. I'm not going to be able to do.
He said that nah, baby, so hard. Nah, baby.
Yeah, nah, baby.
Just in case if you didn't hear me the first time. Nah, baby.
Nah, so he's like, I got something for you. Yo, close the door. And she like goes out in the hallway and then close the door for real. And then he presents her with Needle, which has no name yet. And he's overly cautious about how she should handle it. Like, yo, you got to chill. Like, be careful. Don't do anything crazy.
He's acting like, don't point that gun at me. I just gave you this pistol.
Right,
don't point it at me.
Exactly.
Those violent reactions when you point a pistol in direction. Yo, homie, point that shit at me, man. Like, he's really upset.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking from personal experience. It's something I know. I'm not speaking from personal experience. But men get very upset when you point a gun in their direction.
Do they? Because women don't. Only men.
I knew it.
You did that to yourself. I was waiting. I was like,
I knew it.
As an and you already thought enough. Don't say nothing. Just chill out.
Women love guns being pointed at them. And for it.
Cam was like, I was like, Black people get very upset when you point a gun in their direction.
That I will accept.
There we go.
We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
No more silently watching me get murdered and
Sorry.
I was like,
I started narrating to myself as Castro walked down the dark hallway.
All right, let's bring it back. We're haven't said bye to Arya yet.
Then he's like, the best swords have a name, and she's like, Sansa can have her needles and thread. I have my own needle.
She said it just like that.
Yeah,
pretty much. Every word of it. He means it.
Yeah. The direction that was that scene, it was like, say it like you hate her. Say it like you're going to hate her.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I thought it was really cute that she jumped up to give him a goodbye.
Yes.
She was so tiny with that old Arya hair. And
it makes me
the braided bun.
It makes me really anticipate when they finally reunite.
See each other again, because that is the last time they see each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was
hard. Side note, y'all. Wow. Side note. Jon Snow and Ygritte got engaged. I don't know their real names, but they got engaged.
What?
All right, in real life.
Who?
In real life.
In real life?
Ygritte.
Yeah, the girl that plays Ygritte and Jon Snow, they got engaged.
The girl who?
The girl
that he
who
was
played
Ygritte, the wildling from the cave.
You know nothing.
Are you serious?
Yes,
so much ass.
Yeah.
So much.
I thought we would be
so
happy
much.
that we heard that there's love on Game of Thrones. Like,
no, because I don't.
They've hated her.
No,
They've hated her consistently for seasons. They've always hated her. Always.
She's awful.
I remember. I haven't.
She's awful.
I let you walk down the hallway by yourself, B. Like
I'm noticing that. I'm noticing this.
There is clearly no solidarity within you men whatsoever.
Oh my God.
Okay. So then we move to Jon going to say goodbye to Bran in his room, which we were alluding to earlier. Kat sitting there working on her voodoo doll wreath. And
stop. Okay, go on. It's a healing wreath.
I'm sorry. She's working on her healing wreath.
Yeah,
I didn't know the name, and it looked like voodoo dolls to me, so my apologies. So Kat is continuously a raving fucking cunt, and I'm sorry for the word, but fuck, man, it really makes me hate Kat so much when she's so mean to Jon, when clearly you guys may have no bond at all, but he clearly has such an incredible bond with her children. I don't understand how that alone, like, step the fuck away from that at the very least, you know?
Right.
Yep.
So it makes me mad. Anyway, so he goes in to say bye to Bran, and he says it. He announces it. I'm just here to say bye to Bran. And she's like, well, you did it, so you're done. And he's like, well, I'm going to do a little bit more than that. And he walks over, says some really sweet things. It's so great to see the connection that he has with all of the other kids. And he goes on to, you know, when you wake up and you come visit me, we'll walk me on the wall if you're not scared, and we'll do all these things. And it was so beautiful to me. And then you see Ned's shadowy figure appear, and that's when Kat's like, I want you to get out. And she's crying, and her face is so stiff, and she means it with every fiber of her being. Jon just can't be around her. And that's what we mean. I think that doesn't happen in front of Ned, and Ned watched it. And Jon leaves after giving Bran a kiss on the forehead, which was really cute. And Ned's like, oh, hello. Oh, Castro, your turn.
And so Ned comes in, and he tries to comfort Kat. And I love the note here. But also tells her to get over it. I now we're rewatching some things I'm remembering or some things I forgot in terms of the timeline. I didn't know that the Bran stuff happened all in the same time of Ned still going to leave to become the Hand. So I think there was that, you know, a little bit of him like, look, I need you to be real strong right now. And the Maester said he'll be okay. Like, I think everybody kept saying that. Like, Maester said he's through past the worst of it and stuff like that. So I need you to shore up because I have to leave. So she's suffering from her child being in this condition, but also she's triggered. You know, she says it again every time you go up. I just had this awful moment with this bastard you brought here, and now you're going up north. You're going south again, and God knows how many more bastards you're going to bring back with you. So she's obviously never let him live this down, but because they're lord and lady, she probably never has put up this type of verbal protest in a while. You know what I mean? But because it's all happening right then, and she's very vulnerable from Bran being sick and in a coma, you know, I think we're seeing Kat at her most vulnerable, where she doesn't act this way all the time. So whatever things she keeps hidden or repressed, some of that stuff is leaking out. Hence her throwing shade at Jon and getting caught by Ned. But again, there's a coldness to Ned, but not in a bad way, but just in a way where he's like, look, get over this. You know, straighten up.
Right.
The boy's gonna be all right,
business to attend to.
Yeah, and she even has later her son comes in like, we need you to pry yourself up from Bran because you know, unfortunately, you're a modern day mom. You got like 7 kids, and the other ones are running around. They're diapers.
Don't jump too far.
You know, like please, we need you to rein in a little bit. Because she was unraveling, and I'm not saying she didn't have every right to be, but she was unraveling.
Right. Right.
And you know, there still was a need to keep up appearances, like the king and them was still in court. You know what I mean? So you still kind of have to hold it together, even though you're suffering this crisis.
Plus, there's got to be an additional level of guilt for her, being under the impression that he fell, and you know, it's just like I've constantly told him. Stop climbing, stop climbing. And then the last time she told him stop climbing, she let him off the hook, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, she can be like, I wasn't stern enough. She's a complete mess around this situation, which makes sense. But again, we talked about this parenting before. We talked about it. I want to put your foot down, you know, and, you know, here we are. So next scene, we got Robin John saying goodbye. I like, this scene kind of reminds me of the conversation that John ends up having with Theon in season 7, where John and Rob are leaving, but there's that reassurance of, you know, that brotherly love, that those single conversations. I always loved seeing that interaction. Like, yeah, you're a bastard, but you're my bro, period. And then John kind of has that same conversation with Theon later. Yeah, you're not really my brother, but you're my brother. You're a Stark. Like, so these fragmented relationships from the outside based on the true circumstances are totally different than how these guys really, really feel about each other. Because, I mean, they've grown up with each other pretty much their whole lives, which is just dope. I just love that. And then next we got, what was that, Ned and John parting ways on the hillside there. I saw a meme earlier today echoing that conversation. He's like, you know, when I see you again, I'll tell you about your mother. So the meme was John down in the crypt looking at the statue of Ned, and Ned was like, you know, I'll see you again, I'll tell you about your mother. And then there's the statue, you know, his sister's right next to him, was like, so that's your mother. I'm just like, oh, that's rough.
So, you know the thing about your mom? You know the thing about your mom?
She's right there.
Yeah, she's a stone statue right next to me, right there. That's her.
Yeah.
Right there to the left? That's her. Yeah, she's dead. So,
and it was crazy to watch him it's crazy to watch him deliver that line. And you know, like, when we first saw it, we're like, yes, the next time he sees you, we're going to get the goods. Fam.
Right.
Fam.
Right. That's right. There will be no next time. Brother John, there will be no next place.
Wow. Like, you're ass out, bro. You're ass out.
We got
Ned wanted to give him that.
Yeah, we got to applaud George R. R. Martin and the creators that they really plotted this stuff out. When I'm going back now and looking, I'm seeing like, ooh, these are really good choice moments that really left us hanging. We really thought that Ned and John would have another conversation. Again, we're with Sean Bean.
Yeah.
He's the main character. There's nothing in the world that happened to him. So we're not even thinking along the lines that we, you know what I'm saying? We're like, all right, season 4 is when, you know, Ned will finally reveal, like, but it's, you know, nowhere near close.
Right.
So,
Not even close. Not even close.
All right. So Robin and Ned are traveling. They sit down for lunch. Pretty posh setup. Everybody kind of stands while they sit. I don't know. You know, I think that's a little rough. And they start, you know, reminiscing. We instantly get that these guys have a long history with each other, you know, growing up stewarding under John Aaron, and they have all these tales to tell. I mean, the two-headed, you know, I pretty much
lunch table set up. It was gorgeous.
Right? The spread was crazy. The spread was crazy.
It's not a picnic. You're not sitting on the ground. You got like a table.
Elevated seating.
They have elevated seating. Yes.
I noticed some dates, and there was definitely some truffle oil somewhere on the table.
No, Nikki.
No A1 steak sauce. Definitely truffle.
Definitely truffle oil.
The biscuit. And then after you could take this, they start talking about women.
They start talking about women, and Robert's dirty ass is just like going through some fucking barbershop talk. And he's like, yeah, remember that girl? Oh, the tits. Oh, her tits were amazing. And Ned's like, actually, that was your girl. He was like, oh, word. All right, yeah, that's why.
He was like, yeah, them titties.
Well. Yeah.
God bless that. Yeah, it's like, oh, God, slow down, guy.
And he's going on, and he's like, what was the name of that girl you had? Your bastard's mom. And Ned's like, I never told you, and I never will. So fuck you, because I don't do this shit.
Well, he tells him the name. He knows the name, but he doesn't know
Wyla. Wyla name. The longest lie in the show. We have no idea at this point. Wyla. And I never will tell you
I think he's just a bad liar, and he was like wildly Wyla. They'll never find out.
It's short for why I gotta lie.
So I have this bastard with why I gotta lie.
Why lie?
You ain't got the lie, Craig. You ain't got the lie, Craig. I seen you. So he starts his lie, but also it gets Rob to that line where we were at war, Ned. We were at war and things happened. You know what I mean?
Didn't know if you'd make it home or not.
Your family again. You didn't know what was going to happen next. Don't be so hard on yourself. Blah blah.
Right.
And then after that, they start talking about Danny.
Danny.
You want to do that, Castro?
Start talking about the nurse. Yeah, so they start speaking on the threat of Danny. They got a writer came in tonight with a note, and a lot of writers in the night early on. Y'all notice that? There's a lot of writers.
A lot.
Rather than Raven. And even still, like Catelyn gets around at night. Ned sneaks into a camp later on at night. You know what I mean? There's a lot of movement at night, other than the Ravens we see early. That kind of cuts short later on. And the note said that Danny had married Khal Drogo. And this is where we get some prophetic talk from Robert about the threat. I mean, he talks about this with Cersei later, but about the threat of these Dothraki coming over the sea. Ned is not hearing it because in Ned's mind, the Dothraki and their traditions, they're not going to ride their horses across water. That's how he's just thinking about it. So it makes sense to not be worried. Like, they're not going to ride their horses into the water somehow. Or they're not going to put horses on rafts, one horse a raft. Because I think that's how they think about it. With the way the Dothraki is so
like they don't have ships, so they'd have to be on a raft, a horse, or something.
Raft, like these little wooden rafts, of course, trying to stand still across the narrow sea, right? Imagine that. And it's not for you to worry, but again, it reinforces Robert's eternal hatred of Targaryens. So sometimes when I think Ned is talking about a Targaryen early, he's kind of like checking to see does he still hate them as much? Maybe I tell him?
Yep.
No, I can't. I can't tell him. He's seething with hatred for them, but also he's very cautious. Again, these are prophetic words from Robert, who was the only one ready for look, I need to be prepared for this contingency. Nobody is taking him seriously when he said that, and then we eventually see the Dothraki do cross now. See, now at that point we're on their side, but Robert was speaking some of this into existence earlier, at least to prepare for her, and everybody was just thinking that those thoughts will follow.
Yeah. Ain't no way it'll happen.
And also, he didn't want to, and and I know, Ab, you could take this part. Ned didn't want to think about killing this little child. I think he thought of Danny as a child.
Yeah, I agree. I think he thought of her as a child. And it's interesting that they didn't talk about her brother much at all. It was very much centered around killing her. Even though, he's older. So I feel like you would think of a male in a different way than a
but
woman.
I think they were focused on the heir. They were focused on the heir, like her having a baby.
But but he's the rightful heir. Yeah, he's the heir first.
But if they have he's the heir. But if they have a Dothraki Targaryen love child, I think he knows that the power will reside in that child because he immediately leans towards if they start having babies. These heirs are going to be like these melding of these two, powerful houses.
Oh, so they're just not worried about
Yeah, they always, because even later on when there's something about Cersei getting married, it's all about pop that baby out. Like, you know, you got to get that rolling to, cement the union. Mainly, but I think they have an heir to cement the union between houses, not necessarily about who's the older male heir, which is Viserys. I always hear when they talk about their unions, have this baby so the baby can be heir immediately. You know, same way that they protect Joffrey immediately when Robert dies.
Right.
I could be off the rails, but you know, y'all get what I'm saying.
So yeah, I found it interesting that they didn't focus on the brother at all. But yeah, he was definitely like, she's gonna have some kids, and she got her man, and they're gonna ride across the world, and they're gonna fuck us up. And I was like, okay. And Ned really played it like, you need to chill, bro. You're not. It's not that serious. But it really was.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you, is he talking for Jon when he does that? When he kind of plays devil's advocate and defends the Targaryen, is he still
I'm raising my hand.
Yes, Morris.
Yes. So that's exactly what I saw. I saw Ned get visibly frustrated and defensive when Robert was like, fuck them Targaryens, they ain't shit. Ned was like, hold on, why are we even talking about this? She's a child. Why are you, like everything was but. To give us the impression that, A, Robert is completely obsessed with this, and B, that Ned ain't with the shit when it comes to that. Because he was completely defensive to me. And to me, that was totally about Jon. I mean, you know exactly what it is. You also know that Robert has absolutely no reason to be as obsessed with this as he is. I mean, he would have been, whether, his sister was like, I don't love you, I love this Targaryen dude, he would have been equally fucked up. But thinking that he raped her or kidnapped her, raped her, and tortured her and killed her is totally different than she willingly fell in love and got married and had a baby.
Indeed.
So
doesn't Ned act like the white guy who has a half black kid? Nobody really knows about. And he hangs out with his white friends, and he gets really bristled when they start talking about nigger this, nigger that. Hey guys, calm all that down.
Yes, and unfortunately, that's the same guy that it takes having a mixed kid to even stop someone else from being a dick.
Right.
Until that mixed kid came along, until he slept with a black woman, he was like, oh, man, this makes me uncomfortable, but I'm not going to say a word. And then has the baby and is like, hey, fuck
obligated.
You. I got Jawan at home. Like,
that's how I feel like. I'm just saying because Rob doesn't know the part of that, but that's how Ned is acting. Like, hey, with all this Targaryen slander, I actually am related to a Targaryen. I can't tell you, but I'm going to try to curb your Targaryen lust in that direction. Like,
this is some bullshit, and you got to chill.
Yeah, because he was definitely really disturbed by it. He was like, "Are we seriously talking about this?" Like he literally says, "Like, are we even talking? Like, are we talking about killing kids? Like, that's what we're doing now? We doing this? Like, come on, dude."
Oh, and Robert was so incensed of the mention. He was like, "What are we talking? Of course we're talking about it. Like, what's wrong with you?"
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a kid.
I thought you knew me these 10 years. I'm always talking about it. Like, it felt like that. Like, that's what I'm always talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Okay.
So then we get back.
Camp.
Yeah, we get back to the Dothraki camp, and Dany and Drogo are having another forced sex situation.
Pretty much.
Were you guys starting to get okay with it yet, ladies?
No.
You're like, this is what it is now.
No.
That's what Jorah said. Jorah said you'll get used to it.
No.
Yeah, Jorah's a dude.
Shut up.
Jorah's a dude and Jorah's a white dude. So, Jorah definitely thinks she will get used to it.
I don't mean to jump out, but does she smile? I didn't notice that at all the first time. She smiled.
No.
No, when she was looking at the eggs.
She was looking at her dragon.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
she
that
focused on those gifted eggs to her, and she's like, I got an idea. I might set them on fire one day. But that's about
yeah, she's just trying to figure out how to make them dragons hatch. That's a total zone out. That smile wasn't pleasure. That smile wasn't, oh, I'm starting to like this or get used to it. And to be clear, there's never going to be a time.
Guys, you thought she was smiling for the sex?
No, I didn't think she was smiling because she was enjoying it, but I didn't notice the smile the first time I watched it. So I was just trying to see if it was like her looking at the dragon eggs, and I was waiting for y'all perspective to set my ship right.
Okay.
So thank you.
Okay, so to be clear, there's never going to be a time where I think either one of us see a situation that basically equates to sexual assault and be like, oh, I mean, that's what it is now. The incest is one thing. The incest is literally two willing participants, and they know that they're family, or in other cases they don't.
Right.
But in the most prevalent ones, they know their family. So that it can gross us out.
I think the writers,
but it is easier to get to understand.
I will say the writers, there's not a lot of rape. Like, this is the rape, and I don't think there's much rape later on. Maybe at Crafters. There is also, so let me not say that. You are going to step your foot into a hole you don't want to. There is so much fucking rape in this show. I think
the Dothraki literally are known for raping and pillaging, and we haven't even got to it yet.
Showing it center screen. Do they glorify it? I felt like they didn't glorify the rape.
They definitely do with the Dothraki.
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely do.
The Dothraki literally rape people in front of other people, and it's like, okay, that's cool. And then they go through and they take a whole town. That's the shit for them. That's a part of their deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sex is definitely not like, oh, let's make love. It's like, I'm about to fuck the shit out of you, and I don't care if you care.
The Greyjoys, too. The Ironborn rape people, too. That's part of their culture, too. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I just thought, and maybe I'm just revisionist history in my brain. Like, I didn't think they really focused on how much, because there's a lot of rape. But there's a lot of rape in this realm, right? Like, they arrest rapists, the Dothraki. Okay, sorry. I'll back down.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Okay. So they're fucking, and she hates it. And she's looking at the camp at the dragon eggs, thinking maybe one day I'll have a future with them because this life sucks. Afro?
Yeah, she legit, like, you know how some dudes come home like in 50s films and shit, and probably even today, like, where's my dinner woman? And he just comes to the tent like, where's my fucking doggy style? And
he doesn't speak.
No,
he ain't got no ponies to pull to the side.
No,
he just whips up the robe. It's just right in.
Yep. And it's sad. It's sad to watch, but it was. I remember watching this episode and thinking back to, like, what comes later in the season and being like, oh, okay, she doesn't hate him. She just doesn't like the way this is going down. And so that part is cool. Like, that
it changes
she is, like, willing to learn later, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Right. It fully changes it.
We also got to keep in mind this is a pattern of abuse that she's used to, unfortunately, from the hands of her brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just like, that's horrible. That's totally horrible. So after that,
John Tyrion and Benjen. Well,
I was going to say it.
That was intentional. You're welcome, man.
Oopsies.
Since you brought him up.
Oh, so I know what I wanted to bring up. I'm sorry, before you dive into this, when did you fall in love with Benjen? Is this
the first scene that Benjen comes on screen?
Episode. When you see John's delight, Benjen, like, why are you so happy about? Who's this guy? Is he the coolest guy in school? Why are you so happy to see him? And you find out, no, he's actually the coolest guy in school. He's the coolest guy in school, and it's been that way for forever.
anything when we see him for the total of 0.023 seconds.
I think the real explanation is that Am felt a connection, and he doesn't know how to actually articulate that. But he saw Benjen. He felt a connection from the jump, a brotherly connection. I'm not going.
And nobody cares. I felt the connection with Salador Sand and Adebisi, but nobody cares about those characters.
Okay, well, Adebisi isn't on this show, and so I don't know what to do with that. That's odd.
You gotta stop calling him Adebisi.
On this show.
Also, you know,
Adebisi what?
Adebisi grabbed.
Where are you at now? Did you step into a tunnel? Where are you?
Sam.
We can barely hear you.
I had to put y'all on speaker real quick because my.
You're in the sewer. Can you put your mouth close to the speaker?
Yes, they all float down here, and I will put your mouth close down here.
So
Get
anyway,
it right. You got too many products to be this fucked up.
Yeah, seriously. We're on the road to the wall, and I like how they allowed Benjen to be in the background, gathering the guys to go to the wall. And, you know, basically showing us the process. These are the people that get thrown away. These are the rapists, the murderers. These are the morons as we go from town to town. This is my job to collect them. Every time I leave the wall and I'm coming back to the wall, I'm rounding up these losers to go serve at the wall. And John gets his first taste of, so it's just not people like me, these people that are honorable and want to take it upon themselves to go fight goblins. No, John, it isn't. It isn't. You should have listened to Jamie. You should listen to everyone that told you, fall back from going to the wall. And Tyrion is like, so welcome to your new family. You don't like these guys? You don't like hanging with these losers? This is going to be the rest of your life. Congratulations. This is a choice that you've made. Congratulations.
This is your new normal.
This is your new normal. So.
But don't we notice that it's two Lannisters that burst John's bubble about what to expect at, joining the Black and going to the wall first? It was Jamie.
Yeah.
Messing with him, and then it was Tyrion telling him, what's really real. And, you get to see the rapist sitting there, hands bound, and that really, softens John's warm heart for the wall in that moment.
Not enough, though. Not enough. I mean, he's already
still going.
He can't turn around at this point.
I don't think he can turn around.
He can't turn around.
Can you turn around?
No.
I'm going back to
You can't turn around.
I don't know. I feel like you could get to the wall and be like, wait, I might have left my black clothes back at the house, and let me ride back real quick to Winterfell and grab those, and I'll be back real soon. But I got to get all my black clothes. I only brought, my jacket. So I'm going to go get all the black clothes.
Right.
And I'll be back.
But I'm going to meet y'all up there. Y'all,
I'll be there.
Castle Black, though, right? Y'all at Castle Black?
Okay. Exactly. Not the watch, right? Okay, so yeah, I'm going to come.
Not the watch. Okay. But if y'all go to the East Watch, let me know, because then I'll meet y'all at East Watch. But
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, send me the record.
Castle Black can,
let a brother know. But I'm on my way. Just think
let me know.
Just let me know.
I'll wait to hear from y'all. Just let me know. I'll wait to hear from y'all. Let me know where y'all going.
I mean, you can send a rider in the night.
You don't just be out here.
You know what I'm saying? Just send a rider in the night.
You kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. The conversation where the Meister is talking to Kat and Rob steps up.
All right, so the Meister comes in to talk to Kat, and he's trying to talk this still Winterfell business, and she doesn't want to hear any of it. She keeps binding these, let's call them prayer sticks, and she's just focused on giving her all her energy to Bran to try to get him to wake up. But again, it's relayed to her that Bran will be okay at some point, but she's not really hearing it. As any mother should, not just take the doctor's word for it. You do want to, stay in there and give your kid the energy they need to, wake up out of a coma. So, I think she understands. But at the same time, Maester Lewin is like, look, we got this appointment, we got that appointment. She don't want to talk about it. Rob steps in and is like, I'll take the appointment. So we're starting to see how it works when the head of the family goes somewhere else. The oldest child steps in and starts assuming roles and stuff. So I'm guessing this is naturally how it works. When your patriarch leaves the nest per se, and
which
he also reiterates. Sorry, he also reiterates that you have more than one child. You know, Rickon is running around chasing behind me. That seems to really reach Kat. Like she does know she, you know, 2 of her daughters left. Like, did she even say bye to her other children? I don't know. I doubt it.
No, I think she didn't.
I don't think really, you know, upset. And like we say, Rickon is running around like a chicken with his head cut off. We need you to rein it in, Mom, because again, Dad's not here, so you have to keep up appearances as well. So she's the Lady Stark, and you got to hold it together. Now, she does pull herself together pretty quickly in a couple episodes, but I would have appreciated if I saw it at Winterfell, where she was mainly just a blubbering mess, you know, falling apart. As well, she deservedly so, but I think in that moment, especially to show strength to the Lannisters, who they thought they were imminently against, you know, it's good to keep up these appearances. So that's what Rob was trying to get his mom to shake it off a little bit. And also reiterated what said. He said that that Bran had been through the worst of it. So
right. One of the things that struck me about this conversation was remembering that later on, they end up having a power struggle where Rob has to remind Kat, listen, look, you were falling apart. You weren't really on your JO. This, for me, was the precursor for them having the power struggle later on. And I remember them, you know, because Kat would just come up and just be like, no, this is the decision we're going to make. And Rob's like, chill out. I've been running the scene for a little while now. Like, you know, you've been away and back, and I'm in. This is the moment where he steps up, and he's basically running the house from that point forward.
Right.
So it was, you know, I was like, oh wow, he doesn't realize this is when it's happening, but this is actually the change right here. Rob starts filling his big boy.
But this is something
pretty much a wrap.
Well, when you know, pushing ahead, when Rob gets killed, this is something that I think Kat never wanted him to do because it led to that conclusion that we see in a couple of seasons. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like,
definitely.
He is going to step up. But, like, I don't want you. You're my firstborn, and I know what's going to happen to you once you do. And I knew that was going to happen when Ned left. You know what I'm saying? Like,
definitely.
I knew these dominoes were coming. So then Rob sees a fire off in the distance after he tells his mom, get your shit together. And he tells her to stay here. I'll come back. And
yeah, so it was the noise actually of the wolves notifying them that something was going on. Yeah, then he looks and sees the fire, and you know he dips off. And dude, that assassin, he was in there so quick.
Right?
So fast,
You weren't supposed to be here. No one was supposed to be here.
And he said it a second time, like she's gonna disappear. You weren't supposed You weren't supposed to be here. What is this? He's like Viserys again. Like, what's this overacting? Chill out, man. All right, that's supposed to be here. Now what are you gonna do?
Was he dressed like any
house? I'm gonna try and kill him.
Was he dressed like any particular house? He looked like afraid to me. He looked like afraid.
He definitely looked like
afraid. He looked dirty, wet, and muddy. He did.
Right.
So like afraid. He pulls the knife out. And now we know this knife now. We know it. Like in season 7, it's like he got that work with him. He got that kitty claw. So it's like, whoo, he pulled it out.
I got a bad joke. I got a bad joke, and I'm gonna say it.
Oh, man.
So the knife.
You're gonna interrupt for a bad joke.
The knife is called Cat's Paw because Cat blocked it.
Kitty cat.
Wait, it's called the Cat's Paw dagger because no, that's okay. Good night.
Well,
terrible
joke. Blocked it with her.
Let's move on.
They also described
he said it was a bad joke. He was correct.
The knife, he did. He was correct. They also did describe the knife as having.
Not yet.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool.
Oh yeah. Good.
No, let it go.
I was going to stop him too. Okay, we'll get back to that. Good point.
We get there.
What happened?
So then. So watch then. Summer comes running in, right? as we're watching, I'm like, yeah, Shaggy Dog, yeah. And Morgan's like, you obviously don't know your direwolves. You don't know your direwolves. Shaggy Dog like, Shaggy, that was like, what are you doing?
That was Rick on.
Like, oh.
That's Rick on.
By the way, that's the worst named direwolf in the Seven Kingdoms.
Ever.
By the way.
Ever.
Period.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally the youngest kid being like, I don't know, it looks like a dog and a Shaggy dog. Like,
right.
Shut up. Why
Shaggy
not?
dog.
Y'all need to name that for him.
4-year-old. It's not a dog,
you're
4-year-old.
You don't know shit.
Come here,
Make you mad at Rickon for no reason.
Yeah, we already on Rickon for not zigzagging, you goddamn bastard.
Yeah, we're still mad.
So
we're mad at his whole
Summer
existence.
goes to work on that assassin's throat. Goes to
Ham.
work.
Goes to work.
Yes.
Straight up.
Pulls off the main artery. Yep.
Yeah. And then just goes, crawls up next to Bran, lays it on down like, all right, we're good here.
Did anybody worry that Summer still had blood on his mouth? Did anybody worry that Summer still had blood on his mouth when he nudged Bran?
No, there was blood everywhere, honestly.
There was
Kat
blood
had
everywhere.
blood on her hands.
But
She was holding,
I do have to say,
holding the knife, which was crazy that she didn't get cut more than she did. Because she was for real. Her palms were on the dagger.
Right. Well, that was what saved her own life, was letting her hands get cut, because otherwise he was going for her throat.
Exactly.
He was about to cut her throat.
Oh, yeah, he was going straight for it.
Yeah.
And Kasher, I do want to say that I did have that moment when Summer laid on the fur and like just kind of blended in for a moment. I was like, well, now there's blood all over that fur blanket now.
Right. Who's gonna clean all of this
blanket?
blood?
That shit is made of Summer, okay?
I know, exactly. Well, that too. Definitely laying right on her sister. She ain't driven.
No, you deserve to lay there. You just saved all of our lives.
Absolutely.
You lay right there.
Right.
You lay
I'm
there.
just saying, I did have that moment of like, absolutely, but I did have the moment of like, oh, damn, there's blood all over the blanket now. Bran's just laying there.
Right.
I have pets, and sometimes I get in things and I don't want them to get near me. But, like, you know, you think about it. Like my cat when she was outside.
But they didn't save your life right before that. They didn't, like.
No.
It's true.
No.
It's true.
No.
I was like, anything is forgivable if it eats a man's jugular for you. This is true.
Yeah,
this is
absolutely.
Come on up
You're
on
not
this couch.
Bit his neck open, okay?
You dirty wolf.
Yeah.
Get on this
cool
couch,
with that.
you
You want to take
wolf.
a rest now? You need a nap? You want to curl up next to me after you saved me?
She deserves
cool
the
with
nap.
That.
Yeah, she deserves the nap.
Indeed.
I don't know why I'm calling her.
I didn't think about the blanket. I was just like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Now you want to lay next to like you just.
Well, I love it because it was straight protection.
I'm emotional like that, y'all.
No, to me it was straight protection. Like Summer was like, okay, well clearly y'all can't do this without me.
Right.
Let me get next to my young bull, and I'm just gonna be here because y'all don't know what you're doing, and y'all almost let him die. So I'll be here. The rest of y'all can leave me.
Right.
As a matter of fact, he can be the last Stark in Winterfell. I'm fine. I'm gonna make sure he's good.
But here's my big problem with this, and this is like one of the few ropes they never knotted up. So we know clearly that Littlefinger orchestrated this. We can't really figure out how. Like, how does he know that Bran would fall and be infirm? Did he just send the assassin to go kill a Stark child and plant a Lannister dagger? I would be okay with that. It has to be.
I don't think so. I think it's a little more thought out than that.
How can it be that specific though? Like I know the little bird.
Because Bran's been dead in a coma for a month.
A month, yeah, you're right. They did say that.
So there's been plenty of time for him to get a rider or a raven in the night and figure out what's going on, know exactly that he's still in a coma, and know that. But again, this will be easy. This will be the easy one to kill. Yeah, chaos is a ladder, right? That was the whole point from this beginning, to continue the wedge. But it didn't matter that it was Bran. It just so happened there was. I think what we decided a while ago is although Baelish is a total strategist, he's also an opportunist. So in this moment, it was like, well, the correct Stark kid to kill is the one that's in a coma. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I'm totally with you.
It's not too far from dead anyway. Like, he was just like, yeah, let's do it. This is the one. So, yeah, I think he had plenty of time. I don't understand necessarily how within 2 episodes, you have straight up a month in between the episodes.
Yeah,
but
remember,
she
time
made
was
it
a lot
clear.
wonkier back then. Yeah,
And she definitely made it clear that was the case.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. No, that helps. Because I'm just like some of these long Hail Marys from season 1, they all hit. So I just, the foresight of the writing and stuff like that. Okay, I'm with it. Now we go back to
Danny with the handmaiden.
Calisar.
Ooh,
yeah.
Oh.
Afro, I believe you go first.
So Danny is like, and this is the point where I'm like, all right, fine. What's his name? Viserys doesn't want to go see whoever is in that city. And Morgan, you made Pentos, right. Morgan, you made the point that, like, y'all sleeping out here in the world, and you could use some shelter. But they are in tents. They are well taken care of in these tents.
This is true.
And that is what that's what's happening with Danny. She's in this tent that's not like your camping tent. It's like a home made out of nowhere. And you got your fur and all that shit everywhere. And she's being tended to, by 3 maidens that are
fully
like,
tended to.
Girl, I got one hand, my homegirl got the other hand, and my homegirl got your feet, and we are, like, caring for you. And they're taking care of her, and Danny's like,
It is known.
Danny's like...
Terrible.
Danny's like, so tell me about, like, all of this shit. Like, just explain all this shit to me. And have y'all heard of dragons? Like, and the one girl's like, yeah, they come from the moon. And the other girl's like, they don't come from the damn moon. The moon's the mother. She's talking about, she's like, nah, I heard the dragons come from the moon. The moon gets split open, and some shit happens with the sun, and, like, boom, you got some dragons. And
all the dragons poured out.
All the dragons poured out. They're like, oh, okay, word. So,
it is known.
It is known.
That was so annoying. That was so annoying.
It was bothering you. It is known. It is known.
Is it a known?
It is now. It was annoying as shit. It was annoying as shit. I was like, it is known. It's not known, though. You don't know what you're talking about. It's not known. Don't say it's known. It's not known.
Shit was bugging him the hell out. It is known. It is known. No, it is not. It is not.
No, it is not.
I'm not going to say, not to skip ahead because we are skipping ahead with spoiler free. So isn't it the same handmaiden that betrays her later? Is it the same one, right?
She's the she's the traitor handmaiden that's also the sex goddess.
And isn't she like the most, and bear with me, the most American handmaiden with them? Like, isn't she like...
I don't even know what you mean by that in this world.
No, isn't she more Westerosi than SOC or like a Dothraki? She's not burnt dark skin.
Yeah.
Definitely.
She seems like, that's why I think, Danny
she looked
alluded
like a
to her, let her say.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Like
that's
what
I
you mean by that, because they all traitors at the end of the day. These Westerosi
but you get
shit.
What I meant is she's not like the it is known girl. She definitely stands out from the other handmaidens.
Right. I guess. Yeah. So more.
So she ends up trusting her in a way that is different than the others, and she asks to be left alone with her. And I think more than anything in that moment, it's not trust; it's more of that woman's curiosity, but her storytelling. Like, she believed in things that other people didn't believe in, and so, and especially about a dragon. Like, no, dragons do this, and they, and they just spilled out, and like, she wants to hear about dragons coming alive. She's over there trying to do it, So
it is known.
She is saying what she wants to hear. She is saying what she wants to hear.
Yes, exactly. So she's looking at this as an opportunity to talk to somebody who she feels she can talk to. And this is the moment where Danny's like, okay, you seem like you know some worldly things, and she expresses that she was a prostitute from a very young age, and she was sold, from her mother and whatnot early when she was 9, and it took her 3 years before she touched a man because she had to learn. And so Danny's like,
damn, 9?
Yeah, man. Danny was like, shit, I'm only 13 right now. This some bullshit.
Right.
When I was 9, I was only getting smacked around by my brother. And
yeah,
that I was going to get raped by Dothraki horde.
Yeah. Right. So she's got a different appreciation for her, and she's starting to understand that life could be a little bit different, right? So she asked for help in learning how to please a man because she wants to please the call so that it's not just the worst however many minutes of her life every single day. Because right now, right, I mean, because they're not connected. There's no connection for her, and he's just fucking plugging the hole. Like, he's not connected to her. There's nothing. It's just they're married and they're fucking. And she takes this matter into her own hands where maybe I can make this a little bit different. And maybe that Jorah shit was foreshadowing, like it does get better. So take it into your own hands and make it better. Who knows? But
which again is surprising to me because I feel like there were a lot of other routes that she could have taken. Like, how can I kill him? How can I get out of the situation? How can I? And so I was really shocked that her solution was let me figure out how to please him.
Well, she's been groomed for this by Viserys. That in any way, whatever family or horde they were going to link with, she was going to be that prize. He's been grooming her for that. So I think she, the whole arranged marriage.
Like Cersei, who had been groomed for something. Cersei would have had her own strategy as to how to get the fuck out of that, right?
Yeah, Cersei would have killed him.
Yeah. Right.
Right, Cersei would have killed him. Or something like that. So I was surprised that was her solution. Because for most people, it would not have been like, the solution is to please him so that we can both be pleased, as opposed to, like,
we might actually fall in love. Right.
Well, I think she she was going with the arrange. But also, like Cersei, let's take that example. I want to dive into that just real quick. Cersei would jump on top of him, have the kid, then kill him. So she can have a, you get what I'm saying? Like,
kill him immediately. Yes.
Right,
but I think Castro nailed it the first time. This goes back to how she was groomed when they were first talking about it. When she was first given to Drago, what did Viserys say? Make him happy, like please him.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's been talking about. I don't care if all of them and their horses have to fuck you. He's been grooming her to be a concubine the entire time. That's what he's been putting in her head. You're gonna have to fuck whoever. Whether it's called whoever.
Him or his whole horde,
But also we're in the realm of arranged marriages. We're in the realm of arranged marriages where this is the culture.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to love this guy. You're going to go and do this because I told you. Tywin tries to do that later with his kids, and he does. So it's just like, I guess, going along to get along. I'm pretty sure Catelyn and because if you look at the histories, Catelyn and Ned got together because they were joining houses. They didn't know each other. Like that, like they weren't like childhood friends or bumped into each other here and there. So, and also the pivot, like Robb was supposed to be with Lyanna Stark, and then he pivoted and got with Cersei because Tywin wanted to shore that up. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, she asked her to teach her.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So she asked her to teach her how to please the call with the sex.
With
the sex. And then she's like, absolutely, totes my goats. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know.
Totes my goats.
Not totes my goats. So next we get the first time we see the wall. I think this is the first time we see the full wall, right? In the first episode,
no,
the full view. Did they?
Well, they gave us a big, expansive view from the gate. Like, they gave us the height, not necessarily the length. But they did give us the height in the first episode.
So, everyone's arriving at the wall now. Benja's got the latest batch of morons. And this is all Tyrion's ever wanted. Get up there. I think this is just something else to add to his book of stories that he tells.
Yeah, his resume.
But also to add to his book of stories as he goes from one brothel to the next. Yes, I pissed off the wall. I pissed off the edge of the wall. I've been everywhere. Some of those was bad. But then you got Jon. He seems this is the knowing nothing of Jon Snow. He just seems overwhelmed. Like, it's really a wall. Wow, it's
right.
Yeah, Jon. Yeah.
It's made of ice.
Well, it's just like going off. You're a teenager. You're going off to college. Oh wow, there's people from Texas here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this culture shock of not just Winterfell. Like, you get my point. I remember when I met somebody, I was like, oh, hey, you're from Wyoming? Wow. Like, for real? You're like, really from there?
You're like, wild. Yeah. What are you doing here at the wall?
This is freshman orientation with Jon Snow.
So,
right.
Of course, they don't really show all of this, but we know that this is when eventually Benjen gives him the tour of the wall, shows him where to put his things.
All right, so we're going to move on. So we get back to Winterfell, and Kat starts to investigate. Kat starts to investigate Bran's fall. She is now. God dang it. She is now.
Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Not even a little bit. So she has now started to, put.
2 in the morning. I got to go to work tomorrow. Sorry, Morg.
Oh, right.
So she has come to the realization with the assassin attempt that, oh shit, maybe someone's trying to kill my kid. This isn't an accident. So she goes to
because she pulled out this blonde ass hair out of nowhere, which seemed really random to me. Like, all right,
Catelyn,
It wasn't as random as I thought.
Well, she looked around outside first, and then I think that led her to go up into the tower. One thing I
mean, up into the tower, yes, but you in the tower, and you just go over to a piece of blonde, long hair. Now, I will say that women, we are fucking super duper investigators, so we find anything. Okay. Go ahead, Morg.
And white women, and I know this from men that cheat with white women, tends to be left afterwards.
Excuse me.
It kind of is in the sink. You got to kind of go over everything, and the hair is long. You got to get rid of that shit. So, moving along. Who's next?
No, we're finishing the scene. Who's next? Morgan just jumped into the scene.
Today's my last day.
This is consistent with Morgan on podcast.
On any podcast that I am a part of, I quit. That's what I do.
Great. Just call it everybody else's podcast. Be like, y'all podcast.
Well, no, I'm definitely taking that from y'all. I mean from you. I'm definitely gonna hit everyone with the. I don't even listen to y'all little podcast. Like I'm definitely doing that. Like I think when I post a flyer, I'm gonna be like, check out the homies. I'm not even gonna be like, hey guys, listen to me. Like, peep the homies. Check out the homies. They got some good shit. Anyway, so yeah, Kat takes a look around outside, goes up to the tower, looks out the window, starts to look on the ground. She digs a little bit, and then boom, there's a long blonde hair, and she's like, fucking Cersei, you fucking bitch. And it's immediate for her. There's no, even though she strokes that hair for way longer than she should, there's no one else with that hair, and so it's literally like, whoa. Pause.
Pause. Damn.
Literally like, oh, who could this be? Like, we know, we get it. So then we cut to.
No SO.
Wait, what?
Instead of no homo, no SO.
Oh, God damn it. That was so perfect. And
Again,
good job.
Good job. God damn it, Castro. She was back on for a second.
I was back on board. That was a good one, though. I'll give you that. So anyway, so they cut to in the garden or whatever.
Yeah.
That she's talking to her trusted advisors. That's like she's talking to Rob and Theon, which I guess people thought he was okay back then. The maester that I can never remember his name, and
Maester Lewin.
Maester Lewin. Okay, and then the one bull with the sideburns that are longer than my full hair. Yeah. So she's talking to them. She's like, first of all, this bitch is declaring war because one of these Lannisters just tried to kill my son. And Rob's like, war! And the maester is like, why don't you slow down, sir? Have a seat.
Right.
Words of war become actions of war real quick, so shut it the fuck down. But Kat's like, what are we going to do? I got to tell Ned, but I don't trust the Raven with these words, so I got to go do it myself. And everyone's like, absolutely not. Rob's like, you're tripping. I'll do it myself. And she's like, Stark must always be in Winterfell, which to me was literally like, so do you guys forget that Bran is like literally asleep right now? Can't he be the Stark that's in Winterfell? I don't get it.
Well, he's not awake.
An awake Stark must always be in Winterfell. Hello?
Is that that's the rule? I don't know.
Like, sure. The phrase is probably recommended. A Stark that's not in a coma should be. Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing, y'all.
Right.
Because I like that you brought this up more. That Theon is in this little confidant group, and Theon is the one that ends up killing the homeboy.
Yes.
He chops his head off, and he's the reason that Maester Lewin gets stabbed with the spear.
Hello.
Like everybody in the circle, Theon took care of a little bit with his wet ass. Yeah.
Fuck Theon. So she finishes her healing wreath, and before that, Rob's like, "Hey man, what about Bran? Like you can't just ride off. What about Bran?" And she's like, "I've been praying for a month, and so Bangkok has him now. I don't know. The gods is gonna help him or they ain't. I'm out."
Bangkok.
Yeah. Bangkok has him now.
He was like, "It ain't shit I can do, motherfucker. I gotta go get to Ned."
Yeah. My husband, we can have more kids, but I thought that was really, I'm glad you brought that up, Morgan, because for me, that was a great moment of her giving us a timestamp, which we talked about so much in the last season of how fast things were going. And in this season, or in this episode, they tell you that, like, this is how much time has passed since that thing happened. And you get to really see how slowed down things were.
Yeah, it's a huge scope that you can go a month in an episode.
And also, she never sees Bran awake again. She doesn't come back. I just want to keep always giving us those earmarks. She never comes back, so she never sees him when he wakes up.
Awake? I mean, she never sees him again, right?
Right. No, she never sees him again.
Right.
Okay.
But I meant when she left, he
She finishes her healing wreath, and she takes off into the night.
Her healing wreath? So I thought you called it a voodoo doll wreath.
I did, and I just changed it because I know how to improvise.
And we just
and I feel like you gonna call me out on me being an ally over here with the healing wreath.
Yeah,
so what we're finding
I honestly thought that we were a team because it was known, and now I'm not sure.
It is known. It is known.
Anybody can get it from Ash. It is known. Afro's back. Anybody can get it.
I'm so sorry.
It is known.
I just thought it was really funny. Like when I read that, I was like, "Oh, okay, great."
Great, her too.
Going back to the and I'm bringing it back. The Blair Witch documentary.
Wait, before we switch scenes. Oh, God.
The Stealthy Witch Project.
Before we switch scenes, Afro, you were saying it didn't make sense how she just found the hair, and then Morg, you said she was playing with it a little bit longer. So one of the things I noticed in that scene is there was hay and stuff all over the area besides the exact area where they were fucking. So there was a clearing. There was a reason for her to look in that area.
Oh,
that was
like
the
an
only
impression
area
where
Right. That was the only area where
there was
clearing
shit that was moved
at all. Period.
Yeah. Like when you're having sex with somebody on a on a copier, and you leave the imprint on the glass.
Okay, so we're done.
Okay,
I'm the only one.
that doesn't happen. So as far as looking at the hair, now
am I the only one?
Castro, you're the only one. Yes, Castro, you're the only one.
Sorry.
Castro
Okay,
copies his face.
I don't get to look at his hair.
His fingers.
But back then in the episode before this, right?
Okay, good.
Didn't Sansa and Cersei's hair, wasn't their hair similar in the last episode?
No.
Wasn't that one of the things you guys noticed, like
the hairstyle was the hair?
No,
style
I mean
was
the hair color. You don't remember?
No.
Sansa
I mean, Sansa has red hair.
Their hair color being similar.
Sansa has red hair.
Dark red hair, and red hair is a theme with some characters, and then Sansa has the fake blonde. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Ann, but I don't think so because Sansa hair. Now, hairstyles, we did notice that Sansa was wearing Cersei's hairstyles in the later seasons, when she was lady.
I just feel like they weren't as definitive with her hair color back then. So I was like, I don't remember.
No, they definitely.
No, they were not. They definitely were. It's that stark red.
Okay.
Moving along.
So we move on to back in the Khalasar tent. Danny is spending some time with the sexy ex-prostitute, learning how to please her call.
Mm-hmm.
And they have, a little lady time, a little one-on-one action. But it teaches her how she can do the mounting and not be the mounted. And
sorry.
Dick on.
Thank you.
Oh God.
Those are magic words. Oh my God.
So, Castro, do you have something to add to that? That's what I got there.
And she just it's split.
No,
so it just
you're the one who did this. Except for it's not.
No, it's not.
Castro got something to add to everything. So let me tell you.
No, it says Morg/Castro.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm fucking
not
with
about
you.
Castro.
Yo, that was funny as shit. That was funny as hell.
Oh my God.
I was just gonna say the Danny pulls the.
Go on.
I know.
Go on.
No, sorry, not sorry, and that's gonna be the name of the episode. So
boy.
she does the little flip move, but then she pulls back because she doesn't think she could actually go through with what the girl is teaching her. And we come to see if that's true in the next section, which is yours, Ash.
So Danny is chilling at home.
Waiting on her man.
She's trying to look all normal, like laid across the bed, like, okay. All right, let me just, this is the spot right here. I got it. All right.
You need a mirror.
And then,
Hello.
And then
Drogo
rolls in on his usual, like, I'm home, bitch. Where's my dinner? And by dinner, I mean...
Time to hit that.
Time to hit that.
Right.
And she's like, all right, cool, bet. And he goes to, like, his normal doggy-style routine, and she's like, no, Poppy. And he's like, what? And he, like, pretty much grabs her head, like, bitch, this way.
Like, you know what I'm trying to do. You know what time it is.
You know what time it is.
Like, finally, she's like, today I will mount you. We will look at each other's eyes or some shit like that. We will look upon one another. And he's like, huh? And she's like, oh, for real. For real, we're going to look at each other.
Me no speaking to Dothraki.
She dropped his shit on him, and he like, oh, okay, boo.
Can I add something really quick to the Danny and Drogo doing the deed?
Go on.
Yeah.
There were two things that I noticed about the scene. One, Drogo's ponytail literally tickles his asshole. Second,
I have a similar problem.
The entire
Okay. Totally unnecessary. Did not need that. Did not.
I wasn't ready.
I think the kids called that TMI. I'm good. Maybe I resign. Maybe I leave now.
I was not prepared at all.
I just,
like maybe I leave.
I just do a vengeance.
Oh my God.
Strictly
that was
you guys.
so much.
Really?
That was a lot, and I just so. I feel like we're in a real tight spot, guys. We're in a real tight spot.
Morgan's trying to rein it in. She's having a very difficult time.
A very difficult time this time.
Bring it back.
Who says that?
Okay, so my second point is the entire time that Dany was taking control, it just looked like the thought bubble that came over Drogo's head needed to be like, no butt stuff. Just no butt stuff. Because he was so uncomfortable. Like, don't touch my butt. Don't touch my butt. I'm so uncomfortable. Don't touch my butt.
He was definitely in foreign land.
He was
he's never
really
done anything
comfortable.
Like this before. Oh, she made him.
He was
just
like uncomfortable.
First it seemed foreign to him. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
but he was really
when your
happy
partner
at the same
first pulls
time.
out the nipple clamps, the electrified nipple clamps when they
Oh
first
my
come
God.
out.
Oh my God. All right. This is all right.
Let's bring it
Enough.
back.
You know what?
So
You know what, guys? We have to keep in consideration what hours these are for Castro. He's normally sleeping.
This is fair.
He's normally
it's almost
sleeping,
3 a.m.
and his mind is probably still going to these very same places. So we're in trouble territory. Okay, let's
I
keep
think
that
we
in
just
mind.
need to power through. We need to power through. We're almost home, guys. Let's hit it, Ambush. Your turn.
All right. Well, let me just say that in that scene, fucking Drogo's, I don't know, David Bowie eyes were like very much there. Thank you, Castro. Thank you.
Bowie eyes.
Smoky eyes.
Oh, that was so great. That was so great. Yes.
He was so into it. He was like, oh, word? And he laid there for a second, and then he got up and was like, yes, girl, keep doing what you do. And it was a nice moment. It was a nice,
It turned into a connection.
Well, this is the moment where Viserys' plan is actually coming to fruition, because then he's going to declare, the son to come, the one that will mount the world and all that shit. So, it's actually working.
Right. But
so, ladies,
outside of that, it was the moment where the two of them really connected. And I think Dany really felt she started to learn her power with him and her connection with him, which was really dope. And it echoed the moment that happened earlier when Sex Goddess Traitor Bitch was like, look, if he wanted
that's the official name, Sex Goddess Traitor Bitch.
Yeah, if he wanted that, he would have gotten with a Dothraki, and you're not a slave, are you?
Right.
So don't have sex like a slave. And I feel like that was a lot of foreshadowing, too, of like, are you a slave? Are you? Huh?
Yeah.
What? So then don't have sex like one. And it was dope. It was nice
also,
that they had
great.
that. Go ahead.
Sorry, continue. I was just going to say, also great girlfriend moment, even though they don't stay girlfriends, but the ability to empower somebody to do something, that they're so scared to do. Like, she's over here being insecure because she's not one of them, and she needed to hear that from someone else. Like, nah, he would have got that if he wanted that. He didn't get that.
Yeah.
So sometimes you need to hear it from someone else, even though it's your reality. It just doesn't hit you the same way.
And so, ladies, from the outside, as a viewer, is this when it was okay to start falling in love with Draga? Is this when it happened? It was like, oh. Did y'all start seeing him a little bit
I
differently?
think so.
Seeing the character?
I don't remember the next episode, but I feel like this is when he started to become more tender with her, like even out in public.
She wasn't like a
possession.
Next
episode. Yeah.
Well, this is the moment where he starts to let her rule alongside him, and that's what starts the tension in his college.
Exactly. Because you see earlier in the episode, she looked over at him, and he's not paying any fucking attention to her.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
When he's like, Jorah's like, it's gonna get better. He is not even looking at her. She's looking at him, but he's not checking for her at all.
Yeah, he's a property at that point, just like it would be a line of horses that he holds with one hand. Same thing. And then later on, like we're about to see, she starts ruling with him, and that's when he gets the buck back from the other cow.
Yep.
Okay.
And I also feel like that was the moment she became pregnant.
Yes. Yep.
Right there.
Yep. Right there. Right there.
Triggers. All right, so next we switch scenes. We got Sansa, Simon, and Colton. That's terrible.
Wait.
They're outside now.
Check you next Tuesday. I don't know what that is.
Cunt.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no.
See you next Tuesday.
C-U-N-T.
Father, you see King the Police. Thank you. Got it.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
So, what's this guy's name, Castro? I know this guy's name. The executioner.
Which guy?
With the tongue guy.
With the tongue cutter.
Sir Ellen Payne.
Ellen Payne. You've mentioned him so many times. So when they mentioned his name, I was like, this is Castro's guy. Castro mentioned Ellen Payne so much. Okay.
Oh, this guy
I felt like that was
really
a bit
sick.
much.
He got really sick. That's why you don't see him on the show anymore. He almost died, but he recovered. He had like really life-threatening cancer.
Right.
And he recovered.
The actor. Right.
And really, actor. Yeah.
So I felt like that scene was a little bit too long of him just standing there, not saying anything. Because here's the thing: you guys are just in each other's way. You could just go right, and then we'll keep walking past each other. But he wanted to be an asshole.
But I think he wanted to say, like, don't go. Get the hell away from these people.
Oh, I didn't see that. I felt like he was that concerned in his eyes.
But it was not concerned, but just like, I'm screaming, but I can't talk. And I'm screaming at you. Get the hell away from these people. I'm screaming with my eyes.
So then, they give us the Hound to come up, basically tell us what's up with my dude. He's got his tongue's been ripped out by the Mad King. And this is the first time we have some mention of some of the goings-on or some of the things that the Mad King has asked people to do or, done on his behalf. So it gives us a great idea of just how mad this dude was. And then, Joffrey pops up, young jerk and fine. And he's, Hound, you're scaring my lady. It's like, if you don't shut up. Shut up, huh?
You are a lady.
And we know
you are a lady.
Yeah, you're the lady. You're your own lady. She's someone else's lady, all right?
Yeah.
She got a dog named Lady. She got a hound. And then she got a wolf named Lady. You're no lady. Like, get out of here. It's crazy stuff. And then, they walk off. Castro. And what happens what do they stumble across?
So, mind you, I want everybody to remember that Joffrey is stark drunk at this point. He's been drinking. He has his own satchel of wine.
He been drinking.
Oh, shit.
Right? He's drinking. So then they stumble upon Arya and the butcher's boy practicing with sticks. And drunk jerk boy Joffrey walks over, pick up your sword. So right then, he wants to show some type of dominance. The kid would have picked up the stick. He would have chopped it in half and laughed. But then
now wait. Remember, Castro. On the way over, he's like, "Don't worry, I'll protect you. You'll be safe with me." Before he even knows what's going on,
he's making Sansa drink.
Yes.
Peer pressure.
Yes. And so, and he's also making her cream too. But anyway, that's neither.
Okay. Wow.
Nocturnal hours, man.
now you've given him a fucking out, Ambush. You gave him an out. Now he's going to take every single opportunity.
She's dreamy-eyed, everything he's saying and doing. So they happen upon her sister practicing. So this gives Joffrey an opportunity. And also, as we get rolling with it, we also see some of Joffrey's sadism come out. Like, he's starting to enjoy cutting his boy. And he's
absolutely.
When he cuts the boy, he's starting to cringe.
God damn it.
And so in the moment to stop this, like, I was watching Arya's, like, gears ticking in her head, like, what should I do? And then she decides to hit him with the stick, like, stop, you know what I mean? And then you also see Sansa's indifference, where she stands. She's not going to support her sister in this. Eventually she starts yelling at both of them, stop it, you're both ruining everything.
You're spoiling it.
You're both ruining
I
everything.
was so mad.
My daydream, my fantasy, y'all are both ruining it. You know,
yes.
Please stop. Like, I don't want either one of y'all to hurt each other. I care about both of y'all. No, she kept saying, you both are ruining this.
You're spoiling it. You're ruining my whole life right now.
The whole thing I've imagined for years.
I wanted to karate chop her in the throat.
Yeah, I hated it. I hated this myself. He gets the, I can't remember, how does he get the, he's swinging a big sword at her. I was like, how does he get the upper hand on her? He's just swinging a big sword at her. And he holds the sword to her and he says he'll cut her. And Nymeria comes out and bites the shit out of his arm. And in that moment, you see Arya get scared because they know that that's the line you can't cross. So as soon as he bites her, Arya gets the upper hand, gets his sword, and we start seeing another version of Joffrey, the whimpering bitch. So he starts,
sniveling idiot.
Yeah, and then when I first saw that, and then when I saw it again, I was like, yo, you're a straight bitch. You're one of these guys that, you know, is real brolic and got your chest out, and the minute it changes, you're literally crying. Like,
you're literally crying and begging for mercy.
About that later. And I won't
begging for mercy.
But say that for later. His father shames him for that later. He is a sniveling coward.
Yeah.
And she takes the sword and takes two hands and throws. Now, I don't know if this was, I thought about this after. I didn't know if this was a significant sword. I don't think it was a Valerian sword per se. He probably was too young to get one. But that was his sword. You know, everybody had a sword.
Yeah.
It may have been because he said it was special and given to him. Just saying.
So could have been anything, like maybe his father gave that to him, and it was two-handed, tossed into the river to be lost. I forgot that sword was totally gone. That thing ain't coming back. And at that moment, Arya runs off, and Nymeria follows because this whole thing is fucked. Then Sansa tries to comfort. Oh, I'll go back, and she tries to stroke his face, and he says, "Don't touch me, touch me."
Then do it. Don't touch me.
Yes, then go do it. Right? He screams at it. So
you little fucking asshole.
And how much of an asshole he actually is. All of these faces, we get to see the sniveling coward, the arrogant dickhead, the
narcissist in pain. Don't look at me. Make sure it's better. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sniveling.
Yeah.
Fix it. Don't touch. What?
When he was acting like this, he wasn't too far off on Sansa breastfeeding his ass, like we see later on that Lysa breastfeeds Robin and shit. He totally bitched up to me.
Right.
And just like Robin, it's just shown differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, he resents his mom eventually and tries to buck her, but he definitely wants to crawl underneath her when the going gets tough.
Absolutely.
Yep. And then
So Arya runs off with Nymeria. They can hear the Lannisters coming. Like, there's already noise, and she's already worried. So she makes Nymeria leave. She's like, you have to go. Get as far away from here as you can. And Nymeria's like, bitch, you tripping. I'm standing right here next to you. And she's like, no, you absolutely have to go now. They're going to kill you. I know they are. They're going to kill you. You got to go. So she ends up having to throw a rock at Nymeria, which absolutely broke my heart when she ran away. It doesn't matter if you know it's the best thing. It just broke my heart that was the way that had to happen. But it absolutely makes sense. It had to happen that way. And Nymeria is gone. it's now pitch black. They're out there with torches looking for Arya. Ned's a part of it. Dude comes running up and is like, they found Arya. The Lannisters have her. They took her straight to the king. And Ned is livid, as he should be. He gets back there. And is, what is the meaning of this? Explain yourself.
Right. So in this
what is
moment,
my daughter doing here
Ned.
without me? Oh,
right.
Yeah.
I'm totally Ned. I'm just like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? Why wasn't she brought to me? Why are you guys? What is happening? No. What? Listen. Did they question you? Are you okay? What the fuck's going on around? And we start getting this ridiculous version of the story. Of course, Cersei's whole posturing. This is the moment for me. It's like, oh yeah, if we didn't hate you before, from this moment forward, we know what you're doing. We know what you're about to do.
She enjoys it.
Like, oh yeah.
She takes full pleasure in
king.
punishment.
That's the way to. That's the way to speak to your
That's
king.
no way to speak to your king.
You know what, Cersei? Shut the fuck out, bro. Shut the fuck out. Like, straight up. Shut the fuck out. So, we're getting conflicting stories. So Rob's like, where's your other daughter? And they're like, she's in bed. What do you mean? It's like 12:30. Everyone's asleep. And then Cersei's like, oh, no, she isn't. No, she isn't. Sansa, darling.
Oh, beautiful. Come on over.
Sansa comes out, and the face that she had, this is a testament to her as an actress. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because that face, you already know she about to lie. You knew it the second you saw her face on screen. It's like, you about to fuck this all up, ain't you? You about to fuck it all up.
All the way up.
Out there. I don't remember. It happened so fast. There was so much going on. I got a text. I looked down for a second. I looked up. I don't know what happened. Like, just totally.
It was all over.
Didn't ride for her sister at all. Didn't ride for her sister at all.
And Arya lost
to her just to come around and bite her in the ass.
And Arya
fucking lost.
Well, because, again, going back to, this is bursting her whole illusion and fantasy. This is crumbling right before her eyes.
Oh, she's fully conflicted. She is, yes.
Yeah. So, Rob he's not really here for all of this shit. He's like, look, all right, the kids, okay, kids fight, no big deal. Really, you let this little girl take your sword from you? Motherfucker. We'll talk to you later. Ned, please make sure, the girls are disciplined. Of course, this isn't good enough for Cersei. But what is the beast? Where's the wolf?
What of the
Rob's
wolf?
like, I totally forgot. Yeah. Everybody's, it's a rat. And Rob's like, dude, totally forgot about the wolf. You know what? It's a dire wolf. It's not a pet. Get her a dog. Let's wrap this up.
She'll be happier for it.
Yeah.
She'll be happier.
But I mean, that's a natural talk. Like, you shouldn't have these wild animals in the castle anyway. So I think that has some merit. It was heartless, but yeah.
It's where Ned was initially when they first found the pups. You know what I mean?
Yep.
These are wild animals. You shouldn't be pets. But you saw, he was like, that's what you would have me do? Like, so much time has passed. He's watched these kids really, create bonds with these wolves. And he's like, wait a minute, this is what you want me to do? Like, for real? This is what the king commands? This is what you're asking me to do?
At the threat of them killing Lady. Because, even Sansa said, Lady's good. Like, Lady was probably the most docile out of all of them. Hence her going with Sansa.
Right.
She was the female. I don't know how many females in the pack. But, Arya was just as upset. Like, this is both a testament to both of their acting. They definitely looked distraught, both of them, at the threat of one dire wolf ran off, and now y'all about to kill the other one. That was heavy.
So Sansa's response when she found out that Lady's going to get killed because you lied, you lose your dire wolf. I had no sympathy. Whatsoever.
You had no sympathy? None?
I had no sympathy, bro. It's like, no.
Not for Sansa.
I didn't.
Not for Sansa.
Not for Lady and Sansa, no. Not for Sansa, no. I had it for Lady.
For Lady,
in the
for Lady,
scene,
she didn't do shit.
Not for Sansa.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't do shit. Bad enough for Sansa. It's like, you could have avoided this. Guess what, Sansa? You still could avoid it if you stopped lying right now. Mm-hmm. Why not? Why isn't that finding out you're about to lose Lady enough for you to be like, okay? You still want to ride
because
out.
Again, even the threat of losing Lady was bursting this illusion. We don't know how many years she wanted this to go down exactly the way she imagined it. And this isn't meeting at the middle of the night. This wasn't the way.
So Ned goes out to carry out this order, and as he goes out, he sees the Hound come back with the Butcher Boy slung over their horse and really fucked up. Like when he said you ran him down, I think because I was watching and I was like, it didn't look like just the arrow shot. He ran him over with the horse at first. Like it looked like the horse trampled him. Then he killed him.
He was definitely fucked up.
Yeah, and the Hound reveals he said you ran him down because when Ned asked him if he ran him down, you ran him down literally with the horse, and then the Hound. That's what I thought, and the Hound responded he ran. You know, but he didn't run very fast. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if they were out to capture him to talk to him before they killed him, but you know when the Hound is out, his orders were go get him, and if he runs, kill him. And, that order probably came straight from Cersei.
Yeah, so, I don't think that was his order. I think his order was to go kill the Butcher Boy.
Oh, straight up. Okay.
Period.
Okay, yeah.
Straight up.
But he did look mangled.
I mean, he looked mangled. And that's why when he was like, you ran him down, I took that as Ned saying, oh, you went and found him? You went and found him and killed him? Like, that's how I took that.
Okay.
Not that he literally ran and was trampled, because the Hound fucked him up. He wasn't just shot with an arrow. He wasn't just hit with a sword once. Like, he was fucked up.
He was fucked up. So,
a boy, yo.
A boy who did absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
And
that you know what? If you look at the scene, I don't remember when the Butcher Boy runs off. When does he run off? Because when Joffrey...
He runs off. He runs off when
as soon as Arya hits him. As soon as Arya hits him,
he runs. He's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, because he's not in the scene anymore. I thought he would be laying to the side when I watched it. I was like, oh, he's gone.
Nah,
and so
Ned gone.
Ned goes to handle Lady, and Lady's looking at him with these with these longing eyes, and she's. It's funny, though, that the direwolves stay attached to one of the Starks, but they're also amenable to all the Starks. Like, all of them can approach either one.
Yeah.
And he goes up to him, and she just, she's chained up, which is probably new to her. But, again, she is the sweetest because she's not bucking against the chains. Like, remember how Grey Wind was going crazy when he was held up. Even though he knew something was happening inside, but he was going crazy. So, Lady was sitting there very docile. And Ned goes over to her, starts stroking her hair, and eventually kills her. And the moment he kills Lady is when Bran. It was hard. You hear a whimpering, and then he did it one felt swoop though. So thank the Seven for that.
Yeah.
And then as he does it, Bran's eyes open up. I thought that was really cinematic. That worked for me. Even seeing it again, that Bran would wake up, also we know Bran is enlightened now when he wakes up, and it took the death of a direwolf. So, there's more prophecy with them getting those pups than just all of them dying and us. We're all sad when we see a direwolf go, but there was some prophecy in it, hence one dying and Bran waking up, being able to warg and see eventually. So,
we're
seeing the magic.
We're seeing that magic, right? We're seeing that magic. We're seeing these connections very, very early. Very early, Arya's connection with Nymeria, and like she really, you really telling Nymeria to grab certain stuff, and she's getting the exact things for you. Like, no, there's something there. You guys have a connection. Daenerys looking at her eggs, her pretty much these eggs have existed for God knows how long. They've been petrified. Then coming in proximity with her is what caused those eggs to actually come alive. So we're seeing the magic and things take place very early on. I like how they just gave us little inklings of it, this early in the first season.
Well,
but yeah, definitely with the fact that
they haven't seen direwolves in years this far down from the wall, and when a direwolf dies, Bran wakes up able to warg and things of that nature. So it's connected, whether it's just lightly connected literally in terms of the writing, but it's connected. Like you're saying, it's the reawakening of magic. Let's call it that. The reawakening.
Yeah.
Like Dany's presence with the dragons and the eggs, that's very big because, again, when she hatches the dragons, magic gives birth all anew, it seems like, all over the realm. So we have reached the end. Again, back when I first started this, I'm all in at this point, y'all. These 2 episodes have been excellent, you know what I mean? And at this point, I'm still kind of drawn into the intrigue of, is Bran going to tell? Is he going to remember? They kind of squashed that really quick.
Right.
You know, but at first, we don't know. Is this going to be a Lannister bomb? Like, I thought that could have come, because, you know, we don't know anything about the story at this point. But I thought, is he going to remember? What's going to come of this? Now, the war gaming and the green seeing is what eventually comes of this. But at first, we think it's just going to get saucy and juicy. So I don't know what the next episode is called, but we will be doing our review. Same Podcast Has No Name channel, same Podcast Has No Name time. We want to thank everybody for tuning in.
We're going to do that again.
Oh, that line? Sorry.
Yeah. You kind of swore off it, but.
Okay. It doesn't have a good rhythm to it. No. You're right. The rhythm is very bad with it. It doesn't flow up the tongue, so I will leave it
for this episode.
It is no. It is no.
It is no. God damn it. I love you, Afro.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Peace, Afro.
Podcast Has No Name. Peace, Afro. Peace, y'all.
Love y'all.
All right, y'all.